I used to
Y'all
have
lying.
I used to have a light and a key light, like a little light that was just for me.
I
I'm
know
serious.
that's right.
That they had to use,
I know
and they had
that's
to
right.
remember to cut it off when it wasn't nobody else but me sitting there.
Like Jackie's back. She said, I need some more Bastard Amber.
Uh-huh.
That Bastard Amber get you right. I don't like when I get calls from people
Family.
Y'all
that I'm talk
lying.
to regularly. It makes me a little nervous.
Hey y'all.
Hey y'all.
We here, girl.
We
Ooh,
here.
girl.
Thank
25 seconds.
I know you. I love you.
Shut the door. Close the door, please.
Down in the I was trying to get us some
16
air.
seconds.
That's why I make sure I get plenty of water.
Oh, this TV, this thing at home. How do I turn this on?
Don't come on.
The phone on? Yes, it does. Yeah.
Hey, y'all. Oh, girl, I gotta get myself together. Hey, where's my mic, honey? Where is my mic, girl? I gotta turn it on. Where my headset,
Is
child?
my mic
Where
on?
Is my mic on?
everything?
Is my mic on?
Hey,
How do I know if it's
no,
on?
your mic not on.
How do I know
I'm
if it's
talking.
on?
Huh? Let me see. That's Jason. That's JaQuitta.
Hello.
Hey.
Are we in here?
Uh-huh.
All
I'm trying
right,
to get
all
my
right.
headset to work where I can hear y'all.
Mm.
You, girl, y'all have y'all headset on. Hey.
No, my
What's
headset ain't
happening?
on.
We hear you.
Y'all hear me?
We hear you.
I want to hear me. I want to hear me, honey.
Listen.
I don't know what it is, child. But we are here. Can y'all hear? Can y'all hear us out there? Do I have it all the way in? Girl, y'all know I'm not technical, honey.
George is not here with us
Where's
today, so we
George
don't know how
being
this show
leader?
gonna go. But we
He's
in here.
traveling. He's traveling.
He's traveling.
He's a traveler.
Born to travel.
Do I have it in the right one? Let me see. I may have it in the wrong thing, girl.
The wrong thing.
Oh, girl, y'all see what y'all put me through? Got me in here on the third. I don't even come here on Saturdays.
Got all of us in here.
I
on
don't come in
Saturday.
here on Saturdays.
Well, actually, it's really Jason's fault that we're here on
Oh.
Saturdays because Jason really, his schedule is the only one that warrants that we have to be here on Saturdays. Since we want to and have to work with Jason, that's why we're actually here. Come on with it. No lies told.
Where's the
no
lie?
lies told.
No
No
lies
lies
told.
told.
Mm-mm. I operate in truth and honesty.
Well, I appreciate you guys for being here for me because this is this is a lot of fun. I enjoy being here with you guys talking and thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And if I could be here full time and get a check
Oh, Lord, come on.
equivalent or greater to the check that I get from the job that I am at regularly, I would be here with flying colors with flying colors on. Is that the right term? Is that the right phrase? Okay, yeah. Y'all got me. Y'all know what I'm trying to say.
I know what you're saying.
So y'all get these checks rolling. I'll be here every Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
When I think about
Checks. Baby, I can't explain all this cash flow. The bank knows me by my first name.
oh my gosh.
When I cash my check. Y'all get the point.
I think they do.
So how was your week? How was you all's week?
You know what? I took some time off from social media. I just made sure that I did, some recharging and getting away from negative stuff. So my week was pretty good.
Okay.
You?
Oh, my week has been the same. It's the same.
It's the same.
Yeah, get up, go to work, try to entertain the folks at the club Sunday and Monday, then try to get some contracts out so you can have some new work. The rest of this month and next month. So God is good.
All the
Amen.
time.
And all the time.
God is good.
Yes, because I have a little gig. Somebody called me. One of my good friends, he called me, and he's having his 50th birthday party.
Oh.
Dr. Tony McNeil.
Okay.
He's having his 50th birthday party in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Happy birthday,
On
Tony
the
McNeil.
19th of next month.
Okay.
So he brought me in. It's me, B. Chase Williams, and Shabak, and then he has
All I
what's
know
the
is
child
you.
name?
I don't know nobody but you.
But you know what you call B. Slade.
Okay.
B. Slade, the singer.
Yes.
Slade.
I don't know who
Slade.
that is either.
Ain't it Slade?
That's what I said.
Slade.
Be Slade. Oh, I said Slade.
I think I couldn't
Slade.
say
They want you
be
to
Slade or be
enunciate.
Slade. I was trying to see if I knew who it was because I know be Slade. I don't know be Slade. So I was just trying to be clear.
B Slade is Beyonce. Oh, B
Right, because
Slade.
if it was be Slade, I was going, let me go there. Shoot. Happy birthday, Johnny.
Okay.
That's nice.
But just want to let everybody know we are in the building and we get ready to talk about some this next break, honey. I know what we're gonna talk about. The release of our sister's new album, honey, Montero.
Oh yeah.
She had the baby.
The birth
She
of
had
the
it.
child.
Wonderful.
She had the baby. And everybody was calling me asking, what she having, a little boy? I said, no. What she having, a little girl? I said, no. They said, what she having? Cover your ears, JaQuitta. She having a sissy.
I don't like that. I hate that word. I hate that word. I hate that word.
Oh, I know.
I hate that word.
So I said, cover your ears. And Tawanda Braxton, her birthday is today.
Happy
Yes,
birthday,
happy
Tawanda
birthday,
Braxton.
Tawanda Braxton. It's my birthday. It's her birthday.
And it's her birthday.
Yeah, it's her birthday.
So we're going to take a break. We're going to come back and we're going to talk about some of everything, honey.
Okay.
You know, they got that situation going on in D.C. Then the man, the doctor, the lawyer, that's the, his son and his wife was murdered, and then he was shot, and then come to find out he done told somebody to shoot him in the head, trying to kill him so his other son could receive the $10 million policy, insurance policy. So, child, it's a lot going on. They protested in D.C. again.
About that Nicki Minaj thing?
No, they protested. You know, it's the people from the January 6th insurrection, honey. They out there again.
Lord. We're supposed to be having a Trump rally here in Atlanta this weekend.
Oh, really?
That's what I heard. Somebody said, I said, what?
Why?
Right.
Ain't gonna go down like they think.
Child.
They run into the wrong person.
Booyaka, booyaka, pop, pop.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
So you already know what kind of day this gonna be, honey. I'm sure
I wasn't ready.
Hold it down right here. We are you radio. On this Saturday, we are you radio. We are the home of the Urban Sound of Pride. Sitting here with my good Judy's.
JaQuitta Williams.
And Jason McLaughlin, a.k.a. Pam.
Got to have all
Patrick
these
Antoine
names.
Merriweather. Well, girl, you want some more names? We'll give you some. We'll give you some during the break. And you
JaQuitta
come back
Williams
with
is
some.
enough for me, baby.
All right. I know that's how. Say it again.
Bread and butter.
Say it.
JaQuitta Williams.
Ow! I'm gonna learn how to say my name like that. Jason McLaughlin. Jason McLaughlin. That's enough for me. Pam. Patrick Antoine Merriweather. Bread, butter, and jelly.
And a little honey.
Fruity.
We better go break. Shoot.
We all.
Oh, good. We just talking.
What?
I can't hear.
Oh, your earpiece. I mean, your headset.
So George maybe wanted us to post that We Are You radio thing. Maybe we can post that, JaQuitta, that little thing.
I don't know.
He sent me something. He sent me this.
Oh yeah, that's the Q code. Oh man, they could just use that to download the app.
Okay, so I'm gonna post this and say download the app. That's what I'm saying.
Hey, Hyenas, who over there? Let me see who over there.
I didn't hit quit.
Oh my dope man.
No, we're good. We're good because I got.
I don't know what I did.
What happened?
I did something I ain't never done before, and I think I just posted it to Instagram, but I don't think this because I ain't write a caption or nothing. I think I just posted the picture. Just crazy.
Hey y'all.
Did you get the thing about Antonio Brown thing at Orlando and Eric's house today from 6 to 8?
No.
You on the group chat. I kind of want to go there having a little meet and greet with Antonio Brown. I'd like to hear what this young man talking about. I don't even know what he...
Baby, I tell you.
What?
You
Oh.
yeah, you sound like some 400.
The young man.
I like to hear what the young man talking about.
That's a cute picture, yeah.
You want some water? You want a soda or
I
something?
got some water.
I got
You know,
water,
I
too.
done already went in the Frigidaire, honey.
You the one in this Frigidaire. You better
Frigidaire.
stay out of here.
Ain't.
Don't be going in this
Can't.
Frigidaire.
Did.
We done ran up that light bill.
Mike.
Could be. Not. Who's to say?
Oh, this thing is so sexy.
Yes, he is.
I hate
Oh,
him.
yes, he is. His skin is beautiful.
Oh.
His skin is beautiful. Beautiful skin.
Ooh,
I keep wanting
Sorry,
to watch his movie, but they want $20.
Y'all lying.
Oh, so watch what you say. So we gonna stop talking about it.
Well, they're not
I
gonna know
wanna
who
watch
that
it.
is.
Right,
But
wait.
I said I wanted to watch the
So
movie.
don't
but
say
it's
the
20
movie name.
I ain't say it.
It's on something that you can watch it at home.
Yes, but it's $20.
Why is it $20?
I don't know yet.
Don't you pay the subscription and then you can
Y'all
watch
not
it?
going to the movies, so y'all
That's
have
just
just go
like
to the
that's
movie.
just like the Respect movie. I watched that. They got that on the Access channel now, but it's $20.
Come on, you want to go to the movies? We can go. It's one by my house. We can go right when it opens. Ain't nobody gonna be in there but
Yeah,
us.
we can go in. We can go in. But
You
yeah,
come
that,
to
oh,
the show,
shit,
Ron?
No, we want to come next Sunday.
Next Sunday.
Yeah.
what's
Can you
what's
get?
next Sunday?
Can we reserve a table? What we need to do? We just want to go to the brunch. Gino told me if you sit down there, he said it's not a lot of people, so he made me feel comfortable. He lying.
Well, they were sitting at their first booth.
That's what he said.
Right
That's
there
what
when
we
the
want
girls
to be.
come around the corner.
Right, because he said it's not a lot of people up there. All right, and then you kind of together with your people only. Is that, girl, you know, put me somewhere where I'm gonna be safe, because I don't want to run up out of there.
I'll put you in the dressing room.
Even better. And that's what I told you, Trent said, I be sitting up on the stage with my sister up back there in the dressing room.
Hey, Corrupt 1985, Carolyn, Barbara, who else? Hey, Boom,
He's a
hey,
beautiful
Marla.
skin.
Let me see, y'all said George not hiring at the moment. Leave the rest
You
of
got to
the
call a thing a thing now. You got to call it what it is. You
No,
got to
it
give
is
it. You
that.
got to give it
Half
that.
a century old, God bless him, honey.
It's, you know.
Hello, everyone.
Download the app.
Hi,
What can I say?
Barbara.
Download the app. Is that what I said? I'm
We're
sick.
on now. Download the app. We Are You Radio.
Or go to, right. Go.
Somebody said, don't forget to cut the crust off, Pam.
I don't know if that was a read or not.
Go edit then, Pam. What is that? Is that me on Pam's phone? No, that wasn't you.
But who are you? Let me see. Send me your picture.
Boom.
If you cute, like, who is it? Do you know him?
Boom, yeah. Little bit friend.
Oh,
What a little bit friend. Him, a little bit, and Myron all hung together.
okay.
Hey, Marba.
WeAreYouRadio.com, right?
Mm-hmm.
www.weareyouRadio.com.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
What's our name on here, y'all?
We don't have no name for this show. Just, I guess, whatever's, I don't know, Saturday edition. I don't know.
Saturdays with JaQuitta, Joe, and Jason. Ah! JJJ.
No, it's got to be Joe.
JaQuitta and Jason.
Yeah. But Joe, Jason, and JaQuitta.
What rolls better? Or JJJ? Triple J. Triple J.
Mm.
Triple J.
To catch Triple J. Saturdays with Triple J.
Oh, that's right. I almost have JD.
That's
I
right.
didn't realize that.
I didn't need to just think
Yeah,
about
Because I don't never really think of Sophia as Joe.
Hi, Craig.
Triple
Just
J
say,
or 3 times J?
I like Triple J.
Triple J.
Miss Sophia, can you do a quick impression of T.S. Madison's mom? That always cracked me up when you do it.
How you spell triple? T-I-P.
T-R-I-P-L-E.
1 P.
Boy,
I
trust you, boy.
had 2 P's. I'm like, and it said, that ain't right. It was like, that don't look right.
T-R-I-P-L-E.
Y'all want some snacks?
I want a snack. I just ate my banana. I ain't ate none of that. I need to eat. Oh my God, can I just tell you, I bought some of those melts. And
What kind of milk?
they are on the Instagram.
They melt?
Yeah, they're supposed to like be a detox for your body.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God, I took 2 pills. When I
You been
told you
going?
I was going for a day and a half, and I was like, I'll never take 2 again. Like so much to the point where my area back there was just like, oh.
I'm sorry.
And I kept wiping with baby wipes the whole time. Like it literally needed a chance to heal. Because I was like, oh my God. Everything I've ever eaten, thought
You know what
about
I said
eating.
about that?
Can't-
Whoa.
Here, I got some Fritos. You want a snack? They got those
Ain't no
Fritos.
Kit Kat in there. That's what I like to get up out of here.
There's a Reese's.
just take these peanut
Let me
M&Ms.
see this one over here.
And it's on YouTube, right? But this is on your YouTube.
Yes,
What is
my
that called?
YouTube. It's on my YouTube page.
Twizzlers, man.
Huh?
Who in their right mind eats Twizzlers? This has got to be the nastiest, like, ugh.
The Oreos over here.
I see the Oreos, but they're the like red, white, and blue Oreos.
You can read the red.
360 calories. Oh, did you like these last time you had them?
Yeah.
Those are the things are veggie Oreos.
What's your YouTube thing called?
Miss Sophia M-I-S-S S-O-P-H-I-A.
So if I say, and on YouTube at just Miss Sophia? Or Miss Sophia on
Miss
YouTube?
Sophia M-I-S-S Miss Sophia.
Two words.
Somebody been eating these snacks because they ain't as plentiful as they were
Right.
last time we did.
Two words or one with Miss Sophia?
Draw.
2 words or one with Miss Sophia?
Uh,
Or it don't matter?
two.
I don't know if Mama listens today.
Hey, did you know
The bottom draw.
that Miss with them this radio station are moving?
Where they moving to?
East Point College Park.
That'll be better.
You got a
That'll
wig
probably
in
be
here?
easier to get to though for all of us, though, honestly.
My hair.
Oh my
It's a
God.
blue. The space is a little bigger and it's more recent.
It's cheaper. It's more
Did
economical.
you want some of those fish?
Y'all got a dill pickle in here. That is so funny. And lollipops and cherry something or others. Hot tamales.
You're Club Chit Chat. That's your thing, huh?
Club Chit Chat.
That's your thing, Club Chit Chat?
Mhm.
1 T with chat, right? Nothing special.
What is up with your spelling?
No, I'm just making, because, you know, sometimes people spell things different to make it right. Child, just retarded, sleepy. My
Is
brain
it
is
one
not
L or
fully
two? Is it
functional.
two T? Is it 2 words or one? Damn! What the
Now,
hell?
wait a minute, JaQuitta. Damn it.
You
Hold up, now this is where I draw the line, damn
said
it.
chit chat, is that 1 T? When you say chit chat, is that 2 T's?
What else I want to put on
Do you want some snacks too, Miss Sophia? I think I just got me some Cheetos. I'm gonna try these Oreos just to see what it tastes like. 360 calories. Oh, that's a lot of sugar. 70%. How many can you eat? Oh, this whole pack is that, and that's how many cookies. How many cookies in here? 1, 2, 3. Is that 6?
Now don't play in the snacks, ladies. Pick on and pass the bucket. What's the app for radio? WERUradio.com.
Where are you putting that? On your Instagram page?
Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah, see, I put mine on, maybe I should do it the way, because I just reposted what Sophia did. Maybe I should do that.
Oh,
I'm
so
gonna
it did
repost
something
yours.
I hadn't even looked at Instagram.
Yeah, it was
today.
cute. This was me, and then this one.
Oh, you
wait.
posted one too, huh?
Yeah, wait, I thought I
Do
said
nothing,
that
huh?
would come through. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Why is this not
Oh.
moving? I'm just gonna do, I'm gonna repost what
Yeah,
you
my
post.
sister spelled it off today.
Did I misspell something on the thing?
No, somebody else said it. Not that
You
spelling off.
posted this thing
man.
twice, you know that, right?
Did I?
On your
Because I
app,
did
see?
something by accident, right? I need to take one down because one I think doesn't have a caption. That one
Yeah,
does.
yeah, take that
So,
down.
Okay. Just
Uh,
delete it. Go to.
Yeah, up to the right, you know, the 3 dots.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna repost what you're writing. That way I don't have to
Okay, that's the good one. So this is the one I want to take out.
post it. And I'm gonna put this on my whatchamajiggy.
Delete. Bam.
My,
Delete post. Delete.
Facebook,
I
too.
need to find out what's going on.
What
So
you
what's
mean?
about this company? We need to look up because I don't know anything about the stuff you were talking about with the family trying to kill the folks and the folks and the folks and the folks.
The lawyer.
So I ain't gonna have
Yeah,
nothing to add to that.
just go to TMZ.com. But I know we'll start off with that. We're coming up after this song.
What is it? Lawyer? What is it?
Just put
I don't want it on my story.
I can spell
Jesus.
lawyer, damn it.
law you hire hitman.
Repost to my story. Yes, more. So, I don't know, because that's the part. I don't know my story. I don't want to feed. Ooh, how many times is this going to take? Hit this.
And I'm here with Giant Pittman and
Watch it.
Chicken George.
There we go. There we go. Now I got it.
Oh,
How many
That's
times?
right.
is this
That's
going?
where's the light, honey? Where's the thing for the
Was
light?
was this a local story or was this a national story?
What story you talking about?
The one we were talking about
TMZ.
the attorney or what
Oh, it's
have you?
national. It's on CNN.
I just said TMZ.
TMZ and
I
CNN.
don't see it on TMZ.
You
Go to
said-
CNN.
was the guy white with blonde hair?
Uh-huh.
I think I saw that, but I didn't read it.
There you lie.
Attorney.
Thank you.
I'm just gonna put attorney in there and see what comes up. What was the story? What was the premise of the story? The guy,
Well, his wife and one of his wife and one of his sons was killed. Then he got shot in the head. Come find out,
In South
he
Carolina?
Come find out he had hired a hitman to kill him, so his other son could receive the $10 million insurance policy.
so who killed the wife and the son? The
So now
attorney did?
they're investigating him because they thinking that it's all foul play. That he probably had something to do with the other wife, with his wife and other son getting shot. And now they're also
You
saying
got it here.
that their housekeeper was killed like a couple years ago. So now they're reopening that
Oh, wow.
because they say she just fell and she ended up dying.
Apparent goal to fake a murder so that his surviving son could collect $10 million in life insurance. But Murdoch survived the shooting, and the staged case is raising new questions about those unsolved murders of his wife Maggie and son Paul back in June. CNN's Martin Savage has been digging into Murdoch and his claims and has the new revelations coming to light.
The shooting of the son of this South Carolina.
But why would he only want to do it for his one son? That's
Because
crazy.
the other one was already dead. He's already killed his wife and the other son.
Shot in the head on September 4th.
I know, but how do you choose which son gets the money? Like, I'm gonna shoot this one, but this one right here, I want to get the money.
Oh,
You got
right,
two.
right.
Realized that things were going to get very, very, very bad, and he decided to end his life. His lawyer tells CNN that the 53-year-old suffered a fractured skull and brain bleed, but survived. And after
He must have got shot with a 22.
It would have watered
Yeah,
him.
because
and directed Mr. Smith to shoot him in the head. Smith was charged with assisted suicide, assault, battery of a high aggravated nature, pointing and presenting a firearm, insurance fraud, and conspiracy to commit insurance fraud. It is not clear whether Smith has an attorney or how he intends to plea on the charges. Murdoch, who has not been charged, told South Carolina police he was in such a bad financial position he thought death was his only way to ensure a life insurance payout for his son, his attorney says. He believed that $10 million policy had a suicide exclusion. Suicide exclusions are only good for 2 years, and he didn't realize that, so he arranged to have this guy shoot him. His lawyer says that Murdoch was in a massive depression for a shocking unsolved double murder of his wife and son 3 months ago, and that he also has a severe opioid addiction. His father.
2 minutes
Oh, that's
and
it
10
right there.
seconds.
He crazy. He
Yeah.
had
Oh,
everybody
yeah,
killed.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's severe opioid addiction.
Yeah,
He's
yeah, yeah.
crazy.
How'd you say? 2 minutes?
30 seconds.
30 seconds now? Or 2:30?
2 minutes, 30 seconds.
That time.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to see.
Well, I would say he is suffering from mental illness.
This guy shooting him in the head. Didn't try to persuade him not to do it. Didn't hesitate at all. Smith appeared in court today on unrelated drug
I don't like people say that. If you're a criminal, why would I try to? Why would I have any kind of scruples at this point to say, oh, okay, now I'm gonna say don't kill yourself?
Was that the attorney right there that showed looking so crazy? Or
No,
was
that
the
was
man
that was the
shot
man
him?
who shot the hitman.
He ain't a good hitman. He ain't killing them.
Mm-mm. That's crazy.
Oh.
He gonna get bad reviews on Yelp.
Who?
The hitman.
The hitman? Jeez, Louise. People are so crazy. I just, yeah, I hadn't seen that until.
And what else did you say?
Said
What's happening
that-
in DC?
Oh, they went back to the insurrectionists went back to the location. Just a
they have
protest?
another rally there today. Another rally.
Another Trump rally or just a rally?
Just a rally. Them folks down there.
The people that took over.
1 minute. hmm I don't think that many showed up today. 1 minute, 50 seconds.
They say Donald Trump is running again.
Child.
Who said it?
That's what somebody told me that while they were having the rally here. If
Oh,
Donald Trump
man.
runs again and wins, that's it for us.
Just
Y'all
like
just
Mike
be ready.
Pence, somebody running too. So Mike Pence and Donald Trump running.
We just need a strong Democratic candidate. I
We
think
got Joe Biden. and
We
Kamala
shouldn't.
good.
If Kermit the Frog run up against them, if y'all don't work with Kermit the Frog,
I don't think Biden wants a second term.
I think he's gonna step down and then Kamala Harris.
20
take over.
seconds.
You
Y'all
can't
ready?
just step down.
He
Yeah,
gonna
I'm
do
ready.
something. I don't know. He gonna find some kind of way. Is he too old, honey?
That's what I'm saying. I don't think he'll.
I
have
want
a
to talk
second
about
term.
Naisha and Stasha getting their thing too,
Okay.
and y'all being recognized and get this documentary
5
for the
seconds.
Stars of the Century up.
Welcome to Club Chit Chat with your DJ, Miss Sophia, right here. We are your radio. We are your radio. We are the home of the urban sound of pride. I know y'all saying, what's going on, Miss Sophia in there on a Saturday? Yeah, it's because of these two right here. Introduce yourself.
JaQuitta Williams.
Jason McLaughlin.
It's really because of Jason that we're in here on a Saturday. Let's be clear.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Mhm.
You can come during the week,
I can.
and Jason can't come during the
He
week.
can't.
So he's the reason we're here on
That is
Saturday.
it. Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
now that we got that clear. Hello.
Oh.
We're happy to be here, though.
Yes, we are. Thank
Want to
you.
say hi to all of my laughing hyenas listening on my YouTube, well, watching on my YouTube page, trying to, hey guys, what's going on? Yeah, they in there chit chatting too, honey. Mr. D, hey, Mr. D, Corrupt 1985, Rebecca, hey.
Hi, everyone.
Marla, yes, honey. But before we went to break, we were talking about the stories that are going on in the world today. But what I want to throw a monkey wrench in it right now. But let's talk about. Well, y'all have resources. I'll give y'all time to look at that again. But let's talk about the situation that's going on in New York. Did y'all see the young lady that was attacked when the women were trying to get in the restaurant and she asked for their vaccination cards
Oh,
because
and then,
that's
yeah.
the policy
Yeah, and
in
they
New
did.
York at the
Mhm,
restaurant.
mhm.
And they attacked the woman?
They attacked the one
The
that
hostess,
worked
right?
at the restaurant.
Mhm.
Yes,
To
the
ask-
hostess.
Mhm.
Well, we know that in New York because they had made this announcement several weeks ago that to go into restaurants you have to show proof of vaccination, and I believe gyms and some other businesses I remember reading that they now have to show proof of vaccination.
So clearly, I'm assuming the people who were coming in didn't have their vaccination cards, because I couldn't figure out why they attacked her in that way.
Right, and they were from Texas.
Oh.
They were from Texas,
Okay.
and they were us.
Oh.
3 black
Really?
women.
Now, why would you attack some? Now, let's just not be ignorant. Now, see, you attack the right woman, you're going to get attacked back. Now, that's all I got to say.
Oh, they in jail.
That's
Well, I'm talking, they would have got their behind whooped and gone to
Oh,
jail.
they attacked the black woman.
Right, or even just
Oh.
somebody that was about it.
But
But
you
it's
know
just-
what? I think it's unfortunate because one thing I realized, if you work in a restaurant or wherever and you're asked to, you're doing your job,
Yeah.
they're not paying you enough to put up with stuff like that.
And
they
I
just
would
really
agree
are not.
100%.
I think they
should
need
have
some kind of
police
law
enforcement.
enforcement.
Exactly.
And I talk, hello. I was just that's
Oh my God, she is girl, and you didn't even want to come on Saturday. So no, you can't talk because you know what? Come during the week and talk. How about that? Don't say what you got to say, honey. Shit.
That's all I had. I feel like it should be somebody in law enforcement doing that because you just can't put your employees at that kind of risk. Especially not an employee like me, because I would have a little something on the side.
But yeah, that's right. Like this is really we shouldn't have to. Your regular employee shouldn't have to deal with that type of sensitive enforcement of rules right now. And this subject matter is very sensitive.
It is
so
very
they should
sensitive.
absolutely have police enforcement there. at all times to handle situations like that. And you can tell when it's about to get escalated, and then the police should then take over.
I think the police should be there. Period.
To ask for the
To
That's
first
it.
come through the police
Yes.
and then go to the.
Yes.
Now that's a good
Bottom
point.
line.
Yeah.
That way, you don't, before you even come into my establishment,
Right.
you have already presented your card, and if there's any kind of issue that goes on, they can handle you outside.
Right.
And it's law enforcement, so you know that they can lock you up or do whatever they need to do, rather than just joke you citizen.
Because that's
Right.
what a lot of people are saying too on social media, and the other employees are saying that why would you attack somebody for doing their job?
Exactly.
And they're now calling for the powers that be to enact laws that would be just as strong as the people who are attacking the flight attendants, because they say it's the same thing. People are attacking flight attendants for doing their job by saying wear your mask. And now they're saying that they need stronger laws, and if they have stronger laws and the penalties were stiff, then people would,
Be less likely inclined to do things like
think
that.
twice
Yeah.
before they
Right.
attack people.
Right. And I didn't even think about that. That's something too. They should have a police officer on these flights too.
Well, they do have
we're
them.
having to, but they should be stepping in to do this, because I have been on flights where they've had to announce more than once to put on your mask, so you know that they're talking to someone specifically, or a few people specifically. In those cases, once they make the general announcement, if those people that you're specifically talking to have not put their mask on, in that instance, then the police officer should go to them and make it
But
clear.
you know how much money that would take to do that on every single flight?
Child,
And
we
they're
got
not-
money.
They already have police officers on flights.
They have
So
marshals
right,
on
so-
there.
so
and
that's
you
what
see
I'm
their
saying.
plain clothes, you would never
Yeah.
know. who
They're
they are.
already on there, so we need to have them enforce these things, because it is becoming out of hand. It's
But
ridiculous.
see, I think, like you said, they're undercover, so they don't really want you to know, because if you know who the police officer is, then you probably will attack that person to try to get their gun. If you know this person is a police officer and they have a gun on there,
And
then
they're
that is the person
specifically
you
there
probably
for,
would
like,
attack
terrorism.
to go get the gun, so you could just. So it's just
But
like,
I hear what you're saying. I think there needs to be some kind of presence on the plane, even if it's not a U.S. Marshal. Maybe it's some kind of law enforcement-ish person who can deal with that kind of issue if it arises.
And the excuse of money really for me is not an excuse, because we spend money as a country on so many unnecessary things. If we're talking about money for the health and safety of people, then spend some more money. Delta, American Airlines, United, which you have, because the tickets and the shit that you charge people to fly on these planes, you got the money to pay for this. If it's going to ensure the safety of your customers and your employees, there's no price on
it's
that.
just unfortunate that we even have to get to a point
Now
to
that's
go that far. Why
Mhm.
can't you just wear a mask for the hour, an hour and a half, 2-hour flight, and then take it off whenever you like?
Yeah, and that's the point. But unfortunately, we are in a country, and this is nothing new, where people politicize and make everything.
Everything.
a stance, and their rights to do whatever. Which that's not what this is about. This is about people's safety and people's lives. And if something as simple as wearing a mask when you're on an airplane can potentially help to keep someone healthy, then just wear the mask or don't get on the plane. Period. Like, I'm so sick of this type of behavior and this feeling of almost entitlement or somehow above.
Or you can't tell me
Above.
what to do.
Right.
I'm
And you're
American.
right. It's
I'm an American.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, and quite frankly, disrespectful. And the people that are doing this are, in my opinion, ignorant
And selfish.
and selfish.
Yeah, that's what it is. And I hope for the young lady back to the restaurant. I certainly hope that she's okay.
Absolutely.
And that they're dealing with the people who did that severely.
yeah, she had to go to the hospital because they were punching her with
She was
closed
attacked
fists.
that bad.
By 3 people, right?
Yeah,
Three people
And they
on
was
one.
Big black women, honey.
Now, is that necessary? Is that necessary?
You're like, why?
Because they wanted to get into a restaurant. That's crazy.
So you want? So,
But but here's another thing too. We are really living in a tumultuous time where the slightest thing you say or do to somebody else, you just don't know what the outcome will be.
The state of the world right now is very
It's
scary for
crazy.
me.
I
Unbelievable.
said we be joking and stuff, but it seems like we really are living in the last days.
I'm telling you, I think my
Facts.
mama is right, because she says all this is in the Bible. She said you
Facts.
can look at it right. All of this that's happening right now is in the Bible. And like,
Facts.
Shelly, you right, Shelly. Now I've been
Yeah.
laughing at you for the past 20 years, but you may be on to something now.
It's like up is down, left is right.
It's crazy.
the demonic thing is the lead thing. It is.
It's
You
crazy.
can't say 2 + 2 is 4, and somebody will be like, no, it ain't 4, it's 5. It is just. It is ridiculous. You can't say, oh, it's a beautiful day without somebody coming on. I don't think the day is beautiful. We've just got a bunch of combative, crazy people.
Uh-huh.
That's why I stay in the house, honey.
Where
This
you
is my
where you
only
stay?
outing in
Where
the
you-
house.
So if you're looking for you, where can we find you?
In the
All
house.
right.
I'm gonna get Miss Sophia hold it down right here. We are Unity Radio. We're Unity Radio. We are the home of the urban sound of pride. You're listening to the JJs on this Saturday. Y'all ready, JJ?
We ready, baby. Let's do it. Shoot.
What is it? That's why I stay in my
I
house.
be in the house, honey. Mm-mm.
And I just realized after I said Triple J's, your name is Sophia. But we know you as Joe. They're gonna be, who's the third J? Don't worry about it.
That's a shame. I didn't realize they
Yeah, that's awful.
beat that girl like
That's
that.
awful. That's awful.
They was whooping her so they almost knocked over the podium that she was standing behind. And people had to rush in and help her because it's just like, girl, what are y'all doing?
And see, you don't pay me enough for that. Like, and it's unfortunate. Like, if I were, let's say, a hostess, I would have to say, no, I don't feel comfortable doing that. I wouldn't. She shouldn't have to do that. She just really shouldn't. Nobody should. That's. And then, but here's the other thing too. Restaurants and stuff are closing up because people don't want to work. And then you got people coming in here and beating you to death.
Baby, we really are living in a world, a horrible time.
And see, here's the thing. I've been wanting to read Revelations, but I'm too afraid to do so.
My
I'm
mother
too
said
scared.
it's in there.
I
My
really
mother
want.
said
I mean,
it's in
and
there.
I'm serious. I really want to read it because literally, I'm afraid of
I
the
haven't read it either,
comparisons.
But I want. But my mother, because
The
she talks
truth
about,
of it
she
all.
talks about the technology and stuff, all that is in there. She said like how technology is kind of taking over. She says it's all in there. She said it's in the Bible. And I ain't really read it, but she said it's in there. She said it's so scary because it's almost verbatim. Of course, not saying like iPhones or whatever, but just kind of like the premise of things that are going on. She said it's in the Bible. She said it's almost verbatim of what's happening right now.
Yeah, I gotta.
But like I said, Shelly been saying that for about 20 years. But now I think the time has come.
Even when you come to like with Nicki Minaj's statement, I'm like, since
What did she
when
say?
have we gotten to a point where people are so entrenched in what a celebrity would say about something that has to do with health and science?
What did Nicki Minaj say?
She basically said her cousin's friend got the vaccination and his balls, he is now impotent because of the vaccination. And she tweeted that out.
And I mean, I'm not saying that it's true or not, but
Oh, honey, it was so
Baby, they
pervasive
had
that
talked
she
to
did.
her.
They were at the CDC protesting.
Nicki Minaj was?
No,
Oh,
the
people
people
because of-
were saying that Nicki was right. And then the guy who is over the
Turks and Caicos.
they literally did research to to debunk what she was saying. He was like, we were wasting so much time because the vaccination. They even talked
It's
about
not
Dr.
true.
Fauci.
So
How in the world would a vaccination render you impotent? That ain't why you're
Well, I know for
impotent.
women it was something they were saying that it could be something like that too. And I mean, to me, and I don't know because again, I'm not a scientist, but anything that you take, those Fritos can have a side effect. You know what I'm saying? So
Anything.
things can affect. So it's not outlandish that could happen. But still, I mean, Nicki Minaj, girl.
Nicki Minaj.
The doctor came on and said, now I don't know this child, I don't know. We said, well, the thing about it is, I know the vaccination didn't do that. So he probably already
Was impotent.
Had some
no, he
issues.
said, probably has a
Sexually transmitted disease.
transmitted disease.
That rendered him
And
impotent.
what we talked about, remember we said, this was George, I was telling George, I said, this is just an excuse for people who haven't disclosed that they have issues with their body. So now they're just using
Oh,
the
and that's what it was
vaccination.
too.
That's why.
The cousin's friend was getting ready to get married, and now the girl who was going to marry him no longer wanted to marry him based on his impotent status.
And girl, they were at the press briefing at the White House talking about this.
Because they
who?
got so
The
much.
reporters asked, they asked us that.
Nicki Minaj's cousin or
Oh,
whoever.
no, because Nicki Minaj did say.
I'm ridiculous does this sound? Right.
It's true.
You can't even say it without laughing.
But it's
I
true.
want to look this foolishness up.
It happened.
Because she did say that she was invited to the White House. She said she was invited to the White House, and the White House put out statement and said no,
We did not invite her.
Mhm. So then she went on social media and I did a whole rant. Do you fucking think I would go on here and say,
And
make up
lie?
a lie about being invited to the White House? The White House, people say. We didn't invite her to the White House. What we did was we reached out to her. We invited her to a call where we could let her ask questions that she had about, you know, the vaccine.
Two different things. It's kind of like spelling triple with one P opposed to two. It's two different things.
So, so then, what's kind of like, the reporter's like, well, do you think she'll get invited to the White House? I don't know. He's like, why bring her to the White House, honey? Tell her to stop all that spread the rumors. You out here talking about something that you ain't researched, you don't know, it ain't no fact, you ain't got nothing to back it up, just what somebody said.
Her cousin's friend.
Her cousin's friend.
Uh-huh.
Now, let's just say that again.
And my cousin's friend had said. Hey, Rebecca. That's why I'm like,
Girl, Nicki Minaj, go sit down.
And she tweeted that. My cousin's friend said. And I'm just like, girl, vet that information. It's not even your cousin. It's your cousin's friend who said it.
It's probably believe friend.
So I'm just, but here's the thing. Here's the part. There was a point in time in our history that something like that would have never gotten no attention from the White House. The White House had to debunk that. That's something like that. That started with Trump and that whole President Obama's
Birth certificate.
That's why I think people are now like, okay, well, if he can say that, then I'ma say.
Well, and I'm gonna get on my social media rant because social media has given license to people who need to shut their mouths up. It's giving people a platform to say
whatever they
want to say to the world.
But I just really think somebody like her and people who have that ability to garner that number of followers, you really got to be careful about what you say.
And you know what? Really and YouTube and anybody that know Nicki Minaj,
you have
whatever.
To be careful.
Nicki Minaj is not my resource for any viable information.
But no
Nothing
celebrity
about her.
is.
Well, there are certain celebrities that I would put a little bit more credit to what they say.
Like who?
Certain celebrities like let me just think, like a singer, or we take some music. So I'm thinking like even if Beyonce said something, and not because I'm not a beehiver, but just there's certain people that carry themselves and conduct themselves in a way that, you know, you would maybe pay more attention to what they say. Again, I'm not going to base my life off what Beyonce says, but I would listen to Beyonce. Even somebody like a Kerry Washington, or a Denzel Washington, or Tracy Ellis Ross, these people that are educated people, have college backgrounds, and are very active in activism.
Yeah.
So you would listen to what they say.
Mm-hmm.
Nicki Minaj, no, girl, ma'am, who? Nicki, but I can't even name one song.
I just don't understand.
I can't.
But the sad
I'm
part
myself.
is,
I do know that song. It's with Beyonce. I like it.
You got that's the remake. Yeah. But I just think that when you have that kind of those kind of numbers of people who listen to you, who follow you, that is dangerous.
Yeah, it is.
And
you should be more careful. But
now
again,
she's talking about she deleted her Twitter account. I like, no, your Twitter account is not where you have the followers. You have 155 million followers on Instagram.
Does she?
Yes.
Very powerful.
155 million followers on Instagram.
But what are we following her for? I don't think anybody's following her for any news source. They're following her to see her fake ass and antics, right? I mean, I
thought she was somebody's mama and
she
wife.
got a lot of followers because they felt sorry for her because Cardi B was tapping that ass.
Oh.
Yeah, but I thought she retired. Did she retire?
She came back, and then on top of that, she, you know, her
and
husband
I don't really have anything
is a
against
sex
her.
offender.
He's a registered sex offender.
I did see that.
So now he is suing the state because he wants that to be taken off of his record.
Well, no, if you did a sexual offense, that's what happens. That's called the law, sir.
Which is where everywhere you go, you have
15 seconds.
We're going to talk about this. Ooh, this is getting heated. I didn't even.
We were going to talk about something else, but you know.
Am I getting it?
Welcome back to Club Chit Chat with the DJ Miss Sophia right here on We Are You Radio. We Are You Radio. We're the home of the urban sound of pride. But we're here with the JJ and J, honey.
Woo-hoo!
Joe, Jason, and JaQuitta.
There it is.
We up in here on a Saturday, baby. That was Chris Brown, Love More with Nicki Minaj. We were just talking about Nicki Minaj. And
we love Nicki Minaj. No feelings, really.
But Grandma said a lot. I don't care who tell it. They just want to be told.
Mm.
You said we love Nicki Minaj. Now we've been live this whole time. They've been hearing the conversation while
You
we
heard I said what I said.
If you gonna say what I say, then say what I say. Sister, quit telling. But no, we were talking about you know she got a huge following and she needs to take responsibility for what she says because she has a lot of people that listen to her.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all make some valid points while we were off the air. So y'all care to share some of the things you talked about when we were off the air?
Well, I was just saying that, fortunately or unfortunately, Nicki Minaj is not a person that I go to for my facts and information. So, it's unfortunate that she would make the claims that she did regarding her
friend's cousin.
It's very unfortunate.
Her cousin's
friend
friend who became impotent.
Right.
After said COVID vaccination.
It's very unfortunate that she would use her platform to say something like that surrounding an issue that is very sensitive again and a hot topic. And I would hope that these public figures, these quote unquote celebrities would be more conscious and cognizant of their platforms and their voice. Unfortunately, she doesn't seem to be someone who does that. So the things that she said has been very, in my opinion, dangerous and potentially detrimental to the people that follow her. Like, Nicki Minaj, do you really want to wear that on your back that you potentially, cause sickness and possibly death to people because of some claims that you made that, you really have no real scientific backing toward?
Oh, you didn't even research and find out. You investigate the situation before you just blatantly put that statement out there.
About your cousin's friend.
But the other thing that I will add to her credit that she did say was that she was trying to get more information about the COVID vaccination. And so she was trying to do her research about it. And she was also trying to tell her followers to also do their research before they get the shot or what have you. But she did that umbrellaed by the whole my cousin's friend's situation. So I think people didn't hear the other part because they were so stuck on my friend's cousin's, got the vaccination and it caused him to be impotent, which is, that has not been proven to be a fact.
So and not only that, if you're going to do all this, and not only that, if you're going to do the research, then do your research before you make the statement.
Right, and I was just about to say, so Nikki, the takeaway here is, if you're doing your research, do your research, and until then, shut up.
Yeah, and not only that, everybody should be doing their own research anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
You shouldn't have to tell nobody to do their own research.
Absolutely.
Because when you go to school, honey, you don't just go to school knowing you're gonna have a test and you don't study and do the research before you take the test.
Right.
So what sense does it make for you to walk in the classroom knowing you're gonna have a test and you ain't studied and you ain't did no research?
Right. And I will also say, like I said off the air, every single drug that you take, almost everything that you put in your body down to a potato chip can have a potential side effect. So we all know that.
Yep.
So, did this or not happen? I don't know, and I'm not going to argue that. But again, like for you to have this following and this platform and you say something like this that you really have no real credibility towards is careless and reckless and irresponsible. Like, don't do that. And like I said, it could be, but like I said, we're all responsible for to do research, and we're all responsible to try to stay healthy and keep those around us that we love healthy during this time.
It's an individual decision.
It is.
And each individual who has to make a decision must do their own research. And I can't rely on Nicki Minaj or anybody else to tell me what I should or should not do with my body, period.
And if we had the people that are listening to Nicki Minaj, if they were listening to Dr. Fauci,
yes,
we would be a whole lot further along in this situation.
Dr. Fauci, someone with credentials and experience and education to back whatever he may say.
And I just don't understand why people also, because there are a lot of people who don't like Dr. Fauci. They believe that Dr. Fauci, in conjunction with the government, there's an entire conspiracy.
But Dr. Fauci has been around for years.
I get it.
And it's just like,
I don't understand the thought process, though.
because it's just like we said, people don't do their research.
Mhm.
People don't do their research. So if you knew Dr. Fauci has been around since AIDS.
Mhm.
He's the one that helped us make a lot of progress with the AIDS epidemic.
Mhm.
But a lot of people don't know that because they think Dr. Fauci just came on the scene with this coronavirus
Yeah.
situation.
Right.
And
If
then
they
some
even
people-
researched him, they would change their minds. But here's the thing, I think too, when it comes to this vaccination and it comes to COVID, I believe we're at a position now where people who do not want to get vaccinated have dug their heels in. It doesn't matter what Dr. Fauci says or anybody else; they're not going to take it.
Mhm.
So I think we are only going to get better as a nation until the people who have decided they don't want to take the vaccination, if they get sick, they will die out. And the people who are either vaccinated or who's gotten COVID, but they were able to get through it, will be the ones left. Because I don't see how we're going to move the needle forward. You've got people like Nicki Minaj saying, I think my cousin's friend is impotent because of the vaccination. So now you got people who are like, I'm not taking the vaccination. I'm not taking it. I'm not taking it. So we are never going to get back to a normal in this country.
Half of y'all don't really want children either out there. These men, they around here having sex with all these different women and trying not to have kids anyway. If they do have them, they ain't taking care of them. So this might be a plus.
And then the other thing too, if there were men out there who got the vaccination who were impotent,
Yeah.
trust me, I believe we would hear a lot more
Oh, absolutely.
than this right here. That would
Absolutely.
now that, but that hasn't happened.
Right.
So
Also, a lot of people are saying that Nicki Minaj is only using this to distract from her husband, who is a registered sex offender.
oh yeah, that
And
too.
then he has filed a lawsuit against the state so he can get that, taken off of his record. So that's something that we're
That's
going
what
to
he
talk
served
about.
time for, right?
That's
Part of it.
Several.
Okay.
Because, he was accused of rape when he
Uh-huh.
served the time.
Well,
This
I'm
is
sorry.
When he was 16, 17.
I'm sorry, Mr. Nicki Minaj, but if you
Oh.
do a sex offense, you do become a sex offender. That's how it
And
is.
I don't understand the rationale behind how is he gonna get that expunged from his record?
We're gonna
What's
talk
his
about-
argument?
We're going to talk about it when
They
we come back
cousin's
from break.
friend.
But also, before we go to break, I just want to put this out there. Nicki Minaj also, she deleted her Twitter account.
Thanks, Nick.
That might
But
be a
it's
wise
just not,
decision.
no,
for a while.
but if you're gonna delete an account, delete your Instagram because that's where you have
Oh,
over
yeah.
150 some million followers.
I'll put it
So
on
why
pause.
don't you delete your Instagram account? Because that's where the majority of the people heard the stupidity that came out of your mouth.
Oh my goodness.
And in all fairness, I don't have anything against Nicki Minaj. I do have something against ignorant statements.
I'm your girl, Miss Sophia, holding it down right here. We are your radio. We're your radio. We're the home of the urban sound of pride. But today I'm Jay, and that is
JaQuitta Williams.
Jason.
I'm so sorry.
JJJ.
Thank you.
she had went off. Where you go?
I don't know.
You
I was
back?
just thinking about that. I'm like, oh my
She
God.
was already on break.
I want to see what his. I want to see what is his argument for wanting to get his record expunged. How can you do that?
You don't want to be listed as a sex offender
That's
because it
sex
affects where they can live. Like that affects so many things.
I know,
about
but
you.
I mean,
Yeah.
but here's the thing. What is your
What?
argument for how you want to get off of it?
Don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. We're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about
Okay,
it.
but I'm not gonna talk about it. But I want to see what he's saying in regards.
Because I
to
wanted to. I wish George was here because George, well, he changed his stance, but originally.
Oh, see, George, George is a good debater because what did he say?
We'll talk about it when we come back.
George had to call in.
It's flying.
Call in from the plane, child.
Let me see. The chips you eating right now, James
what's
could
up,
have side effects.
let's see, Nicki Minaj's husband.
Corrupt 1985. Okay. COVID didn't stop them sex parties. Let's be clear.
What's that mean?
Y'all be going to these sex parties. Y'all talking about what's in the vaccine. You don't care what they shooting up in you in them sex parties.
Oh, well.
Somebody said, let's be clear. Jax is trying to take my mama job.
Who?
Jason's trying to take my mama job.
Talk about you.
Let's be clear.
We in this together, baby. We a package deal. We Oprah and Gail.
Jason secretly auditioned to take my mama's spot. Glad George not here. Oh.
We in this together.
We're in this together.
Oh, we're gonna have to talk about the Met Gala too when we do something on the lighter note.
Oh, everything we talk about is life.
Until we start talking. I want to get Oscar to call in today to talk about. See if I can get Oscar on the line. Oh, we can't. He can't call in. We ain't got yours.
We ain't got no extra. We ain't got no extra time. Nobody else to talk.
Right, because me and JaQuitta stepping over each other.
Ooh.
What is cute? I want that.
Ooh. Ooh. I can't get out. Can't put my headset on. They're not coming through. We just all in here just talking. I don't think you can. Y'all hear us on the radio? Anybody in the YouTube? Y'all got your radio on? Turn your radio on to see if you can hear us when we on. Can you hear us? Because I can't hear through my headset. I need to make sure we going live on the air when we talking. Anybody in the YouTube? You have your radio on, and can you hear us when we're talking? Like Sylvester, somebody, anybody. God, is there somebody on the spotlight? When we're talking,
You getting comments on your thing about this? Oh.
I was trying to read what his argument is. He
no.
He just went from New
Pam,
York
you
to
talking. Paul JaQuitta bad to get a word in.
I'm sleepy today, y'all. This is the only way I can stay up.
Rebecca said, I wish the TS would chime in. I know she listening. She's listening. Let me see, what is this? 2 minutes. We're going to come up after this song.
Oh, she said the guy had swollen balls. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's called syphilis.
STD. Nigga have STD
That's
like the
something
doctor
else.
said.
That's something
I don't
else.
know this young man, but usually with something like that, it's caused by STD. I'm not saying he has an STD.
Or blue balls, he might need to ejaculate.
God. That's his song. Try to my congratulations, Rihanna and ASAP Rocky, first child together.
What?
ASAP, no album. Finney will be here in January 2022. Hey, Cicely. 1 minute, and you all are on. And we're going straight to the topic of Nicki Minaj, sex offender husband.
Lord have mercy. She's never addressed that about him, has she?
Oh, no.
She talked about it toward the beginning. She did say
Yeah,
something.
but everybody found out.
Yeah.
You know, she said one of her fans had put it out there.
Oh, that he was a sex offender?
One of her bars said, are you serious?
Oh, wow.
We're talking about 20 seconds. You better chew.
Like it's hot, baby. Welcome back to Club Chit Chat with your DJ, Miss Sophia, right here on We Are You Radio. Today we have the Saturday edition of the talk show with JJ and J, baby. Woo!
Hey, that's me, Joe, aka
JaQuitta.
Miss Sophia, JaQuitta, and Jason, aka Pam, Patrick Antoine Merriweather.
That's us. We in here.
We in here.
JJJ. Now, before we went to the break last break we talked about Nicki Minaj's husband being a registered sex offender, and he is filing a lawsuit against the state because he wants the sex offender removed from his name, from his record.
Not gonna happen.
I'm sure
And
it does.
the thing about it is, I wish George was here because George and I, we had this discussion, and the situation happened when he was 17 and she was 16. And the state that it happened in, when you're 17, you're considered an adult.
Okay.
And she was 16, so she was not considered an adult.
Mm.
So George's stance was, well, no, it's just like two children. They was doing children. That's what children do. Children have sex. So how do you expect children to know the law?
Excuse me, I did not have sex at 16.
Hello, I
Or
told
17.
George that too.
I did not.
But his thing was those were two children. Two children. You were quite quiet on that.
She was real quiet. She did
First time you was quiet.
Oh, are we on? I wasn't even listening.
Go
First,
ahead.
it was two teenagers doing what teenagers do, and he don't think that a teenager should be held responsible for the rest of his life for something that he did what teenagers do. So my thing is, if that teenager knew that that was the law, sleeping with somebody that was not 17, then he broke the law. So he has to register as a sex offender. And then he went on to say that he was moving to different states and he was not registered as a sex offender, which is what he's supposed to do. So I said, so somebody that broke the law and ended up having to register as a sex offender, and then, you know, part of your sentence is you have to register as a sex offender when you move to different states and stuff, and he's not doing that. And George was like, well, I don't blame him. I wouldn't either, because it's just like we were teenagers doing what teenagers do.
So I'm going to have to retract just a little bit.
Okay.
Because now having that piece of information, which I didn't know prior, I do agree with George. And I know that's another hot button, that in certain states where the age for boys is 17 to be an adult, where I think federally it is 18 to be an adult. And one of the arguments that in some areas that are predominantly black, to incarcerate and hold black men more responsible for crimes that they commit, that they do have this law in place where at 17 men are considered adults. I don't think that's right. If the age is 18, the age is 18.
But it's not men. If the age is 17, it's men and women. If the age is 16,
in some places it's just men. In some places it's just men, and women's ages are different.
Okay, well,
No, but if I'm 17 and if I'm a woman and I'm having sex with a boy who's 15 or 16, I'm considered a woman, and I have to register as a sex offender as well.
Okay, so again, let's backtrack. So the offense, was it that they had consensual sex, or was it that
It doesn't matter if it's consensual or not. If you're 17 having sex with a 16-year-old, it's not about consent. It is unlawful. So I can say I am 17 and I'm having consensual sex with the 15-year-old. The 15-year-old wants to have sex with me.
But 15 is not 16.
Okay, but if you're 17, like you said 18, where's the cutoff? If the cutoff is 17, you are an adult at 17, you have sex with somebody who's 16, it's the law.
But do we even know that he knew that? Because I don't know where it's 16, where it's 17, where it's 18. Did he even know that he was considered an adult?
But see, and then my answer to that is ignorance is not an excuse.
It is not.
If you want to have sex, then you need to know the laws, you know. When
Let's
you're
be
dealing
clear.
The
with
first time you had sex, you were concerned with what the law was? Either of you?
I was not.
I
But I
wasn't
was
concerned with the
I
law,
was lawfully
but it's just
able
like-
to have sex when I had sex for the first time.
Well, I don't think it's illegal to have sex. I think it's illegal to have sex if you're an adult in the person's mind. I think if you're both 16, I don't think that's necessarily illegal. It may be immoral in some people's eyes, but I don't think that's illegal.
It's not. I don't think it is illegal as well. The legality falls in when
Because
you
one
are
person
an
is an
adult.
adult.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And
and
then
to that
okay.
I will say, we have all broken the law at some point.
Not me.
So,
Yeah. Well,
you always drive 55 on the highway?
Oh, okay. I thought you were. I thought we were just talking about sex.
So-
No, I'm talking about breaking the law.
Oh, yes, I have.
We
You're
have all
right. Yes, I
broken the
have.
law.
Absolutely
And I've gotten
right.
tickets.
You're absolutely right.
Uh-huh.
And he brought that up too. And my response was, and when Sometimes you break the law, you get away. But when you get caught, there are penalties.
That's it.
And the penalty that he has to pay is he got caught.
Mhm.
And you have to register as a sex offender.
So again, I would like to backtrack. Was this a rape situation, or was this him and his girlfriend? Like, what was the situation?
I don't know the situation. I just know that she was 16 and he was 17, and the law said that, you know, you had sex with somebody that was a minor and you broke the law. And she did not even file charges. The state filed the charge because it's just
So it could have been her parents.
And not only that, but the thing about it is, this whole situation with when Nikki got married to this guy. When Nikki got married to this guy, we didn't know nothing about the guy. A fan of Nikki's, one of her bars, did the research and found out that he was a convicted felon. So they said, "Are you serious? Are you seriously going to marry this person?" So now he had just got out of prison when he and Nikki announced that they were dating.
Which I don't think there's anything for anybody to say either. The judgment,
Right.
judgment.
But-
if she wants to marry whoever she wants to marry,
Yeah,
that's her right.
right. But the thing about
But
it
it
is,
also says something
but the
about
thing
you.
about it is,
Not
hold
necessarily.
on,
Okay.
hold on. But the thing about it is, we're gonna have to go to break after this book. We're discussing him as a 17-year-old sleeping with a 16-year-old, which was against the law. What he was in prison for was rape,
So not this 16,
not
17-year-old.
the 16-year-old situation.
So
He's in
if you're
prison
a sex
for
offender
rape.
because of rape, then that's something totally different. But to me, a 16-year-old, a 17-year-old having sex with a 16-year-old,
But it won't.
regardless of the law,
Yeah.
because like I said, we have all broken the law.
But
Some
I
of
also,
us just 5 minutes ago. But
I don't know that, but I it does lead to question if the man he had sex with an underage girl and then he was in prison for rape. One would deduce there is some kind of
not necessarily.
Behavior.
I think that's a harsh judgment. Now the rape
I'm
thing
sorry.
is totally different. I think that's a harsh judgment. To have some at 17 have sex with somebody who's 16, a year younger than you, and she might have been turning 16 next week, next day, next month. I think that the two are not necessarily connected to me. The rape situation is something totally different. The rape is something totally different to
I don't
me.
think so. I don't
Is it
think
time
so.
to go to break? Because I got some more to say. Now, I don't want to get
We have to go
into
to
it.
break, but and everything that we're talking about is what we and George, we discussed when we came up, when we were talking about the situation, and it's just like, there's a pattern. You cannot say
That's
that there's not a
behavior.
pattern.
Mhm.
Well, we all
You
have
know-
sex. Have y'all just had sex once?
No, but it's
And
just
I don't
like,
think that having sex at 17 with somebody that's 16 necessarily says that you're going to be a rapist. I don't think
No,
that that's
we're
a
not
pattern.
saying-
We're
We're
not
not
saying, no,
saying
we're not
that.
saying that.
everybody that has sex when they're 16 is not a rapist.
No.
So what is
But
the
there are some
pattern?
people. There are some people. It's just like they say about there are some children who act more mature than others.
Okay, okay.
So it's just like some people they can handle, having sex at 16, and then when they become more mature, it's just like, you know what, I'm gonna have to get myself together. But some people they just like they done got away with it all their life, so they're just like reckless with it.
Well, what's not together about having sex? What do you have to get yourself together about because you have sex?
With sex with minors.
17 and 16, to me, regardless of the law, let's take the law out. I don't think that that's necessarily an
Because
adult
you're
and
saying
minor
that's
situation.
too close in age. is
Yes,
what you're
and
saying.
if it was 17 and even 15, 14, then we're, but 17 and 16, you're probably in the same grade. Like I said, he might have just turned 17. She might be about to turn 17. Like, it's too.
But that's the difference between if I'm 20 and I'm 21. 21, I can buy alcohol legally. 20, I cannot.
I know
And
lots
if
of
I'm
people.
20 and if I get caught
Absolutely.
buying alcohol, there is a price to pay.
So should you have to always register as an alcoholic because you bought alcohol at 20 instead of 21?
It's not alcoholism. It's I did something against the law.
So that's what he did then. He did something against the law. He was 17 and he had sex with somebody that was 16. Should he always have to be because of that? Now, the rape part, that's something totally separate. But if he's a registered sex offender because at 17 he had sex with somebody that's 16, I don't think that that's fair.
Well, then you're saying
I think that that's
you want the
subject
laws
to be
changed then
absolutely.
because it's the law.
And I think that that's subject to be looked at as I'm now an adult, as I'm 40 or whatever age I am. Now, he may have misstepped because he does have this rape charge. Now, had he not had that, I don't think that to me I wouldn't be worried about this man being,
around
living in
your
my
child.
neighborhood. Right.
But I would be if I knew he, one, has a sex offender record, and he, two, went to prison for rape. The likelihood,
That's the part that
the
bothers me.
likelihood, if I had a daughter and my daughter lived in the neighborhood with him, I would have a problem. Not because of one thing, but because of both, which means you may have a problem.
I agree with the rape part. The 17 to 16 thing to me is not an issue at all.
Okay.
Because I also think that that's the beginning of the exploratory phase for young adults.
We gotta go to break.
Are you trying to cut me off, Heifer?
I'm just saying.
She ain't gonna be here next Saturday. Y'all listen to her now. Come on Tuesday, JaQuitta.
We'll be
But
right
a lot of
It's all
people-
love.
But
It's
I
all
just want to throw that out there too, because a lot of people said that when they came up with the law, then they were talking about like these older men, like the 50-some-year-old men sleeping with the little 15, 16. It's just like the age is the age. You can't just say
17 and 16 is not the same to me. To me.
I'm your girl, Miss Sophia. Hold it down right here.
Well, then what is? What's the cutoff? For you? What age? 18, 19, 20?
We're going to break. Break.
She get on my nerves.
Love you too.
I love you too.
All right.
Ooh, this show gonna get some good ratings. They gonna say they was on there fighting, baby.
So do you really believe
Somebody
that?
says
I do.
multiple cases against him.
So see, that's something totally different. But
Okay, but my thing is, okay, I
Somebody
get what
says
you're
it's the
saying.
law, Pam. You don't like
So
it. Run
what-
for Congress to change the age limit.
and I will.
Well, what do you believe the age limit should be? Because if they're that close, what do you believe? Okay, this should be
Maybe 2 years or something. Because I'm just thinking about the age. I mean, like I say, 16 and 17. That's fucking
That's you, a junior and a senior.
not necessarily. You could both be juniors. You could both be seniors.
Okay, so what is the age though?
I think a 2 year difference. If the age for adult is 17, and I think circumstances like that should be looked at. I think that's a case by case scenario. I don't think that's as blanket as you're a sex offender because at 17 you had some sex with somebody. At 16 now you're a sex offender. I don't
Okay,
think
well let me
it's
do
that
it this
cut
way.
and dry.
Let's do it this way. Let's just say they're 16, 17, they had sex. Now, because her parents have found out she's having sex with the 17-year-old boy, they don't want it happen anymore because they know he's considered an adult. He's made aware of this, but he continues to have sex with the young lady. Then what? And her parents are aware. Her parents have told him to stay away, or I'm going to call the cops, or whatever I'm sure parents will do. Then what?
We have all broken the law.
But
And
I'm
we
not.
know what the law is.
I'm not asking you that.
So,
I'm
but I'm
asking that scenario specifically. What then what?
I have nothing to say to that because you all are right. That is the law. That is the law. But we've all broken the law. So whenever you decide that I'm gonna go 56 instead of 55, you've made that choice.
I understand
So whatever
that.
consequence comes. Now, still, whatever consequence you face, I may say it's not fair that JaQuitta got a speeding ticket for going 56 and a 55. That's ridiculous to me. They could have let her go. I feel the same way. I feel the same way in this case.
Well, I know if
think
I
that-
had a child and my daughter or my son
if your daughter
had
or
sex
son,
with a girl who was 17 or 18, I would have
it's
a
not
problem.
or. He was 17, she was
Okay,
16.
if my daughter is 17 and the boy she had sex with was 16, as a mother, I don't think my daughter should be having sex with a 16-year-old boy if that's the law.
I can't. I
And then
don't
here's
really
the
agree
thing,
with
I
it.
think
Because
sex is different from like just alcoholism. I mean, those are serious things. But you're talking about sex. So much comes with that at a young age.
But you do realize that your child is going to start having sex.
I don't want them to have it at 16, 17.
You can't control that.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't, Boosie.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't, Boosie.
How do you think I can't control that?
You
I
can't
can't
control.
monitor.
No, you can't.
If I have a clamp on my child,
That's
shit, my
illegal.
mama had one on mine. That's why I couldn't get them.
That's illegal.
She was
And
clamped.
not right. That's not.
What you mean, what's
that's
illegal?
Not right.
What's it? If I'm under my mother's care until I'm an adult, and it's not illegal. That's my mom's job as a parent. You don't think so?
If your child decides that they want to have sex, trust me, they're going to have sex. There's nothing you can do about it. You can
Jay
get as
say,
mad
I
as
see
you
his
want.
point. At age 16 and 17, you could be classmates. The law also has provisions which mean each case should be reviewed individually.
What I just said. That's a
No,
case
it's
by
not.
case
The law
scenario.
is the law. The law is the law. And then what Jason is saying is when she talked about the speeding ticket, when you get caught speeding, there's a penalty. Now you're saying that he done got caught, but he shouldn't have to pay the penalty.
No, sometimes the officer can say, I'm going to give you a warning, I'm going to let you go. This happened to
No.
me. And I've gone more than 1 mile over the speed limit. That has happened. They can do that.
And then there are
Because
times you got
When
a
you just get a
ticket, and
ticket,
it's on your
absolutely.
record.
Absolutely.
It's on your insurance.
Absolutely.
And it stays
Absolutely.
there.
But there are times when they give you a warning and just let you go. So again, it's a case by
Perhaps he
case
got a
scenario.
warning, and he kept doing
Well,
it.
I can't speak on the perhaps.
I
All I can
can't
speak
either.
on is what we know. So
Well,
based
all I
on
know
what
is
little
that
bit we
you
know.
should be a registered sex offender. That's all I know. That's the law. Hard stop. The end. And to know
I
that
think
he
it's- I
went
think
to
it's-
prison for rape.
I think it's
That
just,
also says to me.
well, that opens up a whole.
That's
That
behavior.
opens up that opens up a whole nother thing. To me, that's the same thing as classifying sins. If you break the law, you break the law.
Mhm.
You can't classify that. You can't classify sins. No sin is greater than the other, right? So that's the same thing. If you're saying because he did this, but if I speed, well, that's different. No, it's not. You're still breaking the law. So if our argument is that he broke the law, when you break the law, that's it. But we know that that's not how it happens. So why are we so dead set on this case where he broke the law and that's just it, blah, 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 blah? No. But like I say, the rape thing, that adds another piece of it. Now, rape, that's something totally different. But if it's clearly just that he's 17, she's 16, we got to look deeper into this. And I do believe a parent is not going to be able to keep their child from doing anything, not just sex. If your child want to smoke cigarettes, smoke dope, take pills, whatever, you're not going to be able to stop them if that's what they decide they can do. Now you can ground them, you can say they can't leave the house, you can punish them, you can whoop them, you can whatever. But if they want to do it, they're going to find a way to do it. My mother would sneak makeup to school with her and put makeup on when she got to school because her mom and daddy said she couldn't wear makeup. But she would get to school and put it on.
But you need to address the issue that when you are caught, then you're caught.
And that's true. I mean, nobody, I think, argues that.
So he was caught.
But should you
So
have
his
to...
job is wherever you move. When you move from New York to go to LA,
Let's think of something that you may have done when
registered.
you were a child that maybe if had it stuck with you. Like I can speak to this. I'll speak to this. I'll be vulnerable. Once when I was, I think 13 or 14, I was with a group of friends. We had stole some CDs out of Kmart.
Okay.
That's against the law.
Yes.
They caught us in the store. The police came. They put us in handcuffs. They really scared us to death.
Yes.
Because of our age. I think one of them might have been like the age that was right on the adult line.
Mm-hmm.
I was 13 or 14, maybe 14, and then the next person above me might have been like 16, and then above that I think was 17.
Mm-hmm.
So they were a little bit harsher on the 17-year-old and the
Mhm.
scare tactic. And with me, they called my mother got me. Had that stayed on my record that I stole something,
Well, that would have been expunged by then. You're 13.
but still,
it
but
wouldn't have stayed on your
it's
record.
the same basic
It's not
point.
the same thing. You're 13. You're underage. The law you would never, even if you went to prison for something, if you were 13, it would not stay on your record. That's the law.
And
But the point that I'm
they
trying to
can't
make is that if that had stayed with me,
But the
that
difference is that was something that you did that affected you. This is something that he did that affected somebody else.
okay, so let's use that. How do we know that the girl wasn't that she wasn't trying to get the dick from him? Like women do that
She
too.
might have
But
been.
it's just
But
like,
the bottom line is, she may have been, but it was up to him as an adult.
He's not an
17.
adult at 17. Most of these men walking around at 37 ain't adults. So I know the man at 17 wasn't no damn
Okay,
adult
so-
thinking like
Okay,
that.
so would it be better if he were 18? Would it be better if he were 18? Would you be able to be like, well, yeah, because he was 18?
I don't think this situation is as cut and dry as this is the law. I think you have to take it each by case by case. If you're dealing with a 17-year-old, that you can have a conversation with him and truly know that this person, yes, is 17, so legally of age of an adult, but still mentally a kid and teenager, then he can't be held to the same things rationally to me because he's not there yet. You know what I'm saying? Just like even to all of a sudden when you turn 21 you can have a drink. Well, what's the difference between when you were 20? What all of a sudden
I
on
turned
this
21
birthday?
because now I'm legal.
Right.
That's a legal thing.
But it doesn't. You could still have the same mental capacity as you did at 20
Uh-huh.
or 18 or 15,
Mhm.
but you're now 21. So it doesn't. To me, doesn't just say that all of a sudden you can drink. That's just the legal age. That's the technicality. So again, things should be
It's not
looked
a
at as a.
technicality.
It is.
It's the law.
Oh my God.
It's not the
We can't use
technicality.
the law. We can't use the law because
Yes,
we
it
have
be-
all broken the law,
I
and we don't
understand.
agree with all laws that are there.
Okay, well then what the hell are the laws for then?
Laws are there to
Yes,
set up
to-
boundaries. Right.
Exactly.
So, but sometimes, which is why we have a court system, we have lawyers and we have judges, because in some cases, the law does not stand up to what the scenario and situation is. Can we
Okay.
agree on that?
Yes, we can.
My point. I'm done. What's our next topic?
We're agreeing to disagree.
That's
We're
fine too.
going to agree to disagree. We really are.
I'm
Because I
right.
think, because here's the thing, it will, and I do understand what you're saying, because you're right. They were close in proximity. She may have been the aggressor. Whatever. They may have been in a full-on relationship when they were in high school. But something had to have happened to where, if he's charged with this, then, we don't know if they were found out, parents knew that he was older and didn't want the child, whatever it was.
And I think about my own parents. My dad is 2 years or so, 2.5 years older than my mother. They started dating in high school. My mother was a sophomore, my dad was a junior or senior, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I was born, my mom was 19, my dad was 21 or 22. I don't know when they started having sex, but I can gamble to say it was when I was conceived. I'm sure that wasn't the first time that they had sex.
But they didn't get caught. And it wasn't anything lawful.
Well, I don't know what the law was. I don't know
is-
what the law
my
was.
thing-
And I don't know the age that they first started having sex. Could it have been that when my mom was 16, he was 17 or 18, however old he was? I don't know.
About the bottom line is, whatever their scenario was, Petty and this 16-year-old girl, bottom line is, the law is he has to register as a sex offender. He went from New York to California. He did not do so. So according to the law, they can arrest you for failing to do so.
So I would just gamble to say that in his case, his need to register as a sex offender is probably more so because of the rape charge than this 17, 16 thing. I would gamble to say, which is a much more serious
No, because
offense.
he could have raped somebody he could have raped a woman that was his age. That ain't got nothing to do with
But age
being
don't have
sex
nothing to do with rape. Rape is something that's totally
It's a
different.
violent act. Yeah,
Exactly. So that's totally different.
Him being a
He could have raped somebody older, like you say. It
Yeah.
don't matter. Rape is something totally different than if I'm 17 and JaQuitta, my girlfriend, is 16 and we have sex. Regardless if our parents don't want to have sex or not, it's a whole lot of shit that we did that our parents didn't want us to do.
Right,
So
but
we
the
can't
bottom
use
line
that
is,
argument
he's
either.
not a registered sex offender because he raped somebody. He's a registered
But
sex
do
offender.
we know that? Do we know the reason he's a registered sex offender or should be registering as a sex offender?
Because of his case, not the rape.
Do we know that?
Okay, let me go back and look at, because that's what I was reading. That's pretty much why he has to register. Nicki Minaj's husband pleads guilty to failure to register as a sex offender. Petty initially pled not guilty to the single count indictment, but later changed his plea. They arrested Petty following a traffic stop after learning that he had moved from New York to California, failed to submit his sex offender status. He was released after posting $20,000 bail, but was arrested again last year after he was indicted in connection with the incident. He was released from federal custody on a bond. According to court documents, Petty relocated to California in 2019 and, as required by law, was supposed to register as the result of being convicted of first-degree attempted rape in New York in April of 1995. Petty, who was 16 at the time of the crime, served nearly 4 years in a New York State prison. So basically,
So he was
they're
16. It wasn't even an adult. He was 16.
They're considering whatever he did to whomever as rape, not sex.
So that's a totally different thing than what we're talking about then. So we done had a whole conversation about something that was
No, he
untrue.
got several cases.
Well, but even, okay,
He's
regardless,
got
but we're
several
talking about somebody 16 having sex with somebody 17 having sex with somebody that's 16. It says here that he was 16 and it was an attempted rape. That's something totally different than me having sex at 17 with my girlfriend or even just a girl that I met that want to have sex. That's something totally different.
Okay, let me go.
And do we
back.
know for sure that he had several cases?
I
Because
wanna
the
go
first
back.
story was
Yeah.
that he was 17. Because the first story was wrong, obviously.
What first story?
That he was 17 and had sex with a girl at 16. Because that's not what this just says in this article.
That's another story, bro.
Well, it says he was 16 and it was an attempted rape. That's what this says. So like I said, we can't be talking about stuff if we don't have the facts, the correct information.
I'm trying to read all of the things that are coming out.
God, I need some more water now. Y'all done got me thirsty and hot. Got me all worked up for some shit that ain't even true.
No, it's true.
Now I got to apologize.
It's true. It's true.
Well, we don't know that ain't what you just read. What you just read is different.
I think we read one of his cases. I'm looking for the case where this probably the 16, 17 thing jumped off. So hold on.
And I want to know what was the attempted rape situation. And at 16, you're not an adult either, are you?
What time is it? We coming up after this?
Is this too? They talking about some woman that he was trying to pay off to recant her story.
Mhm.
Like I need the timeline for him because he sounds like he got a lot of
He been busy.
stuff going on.
Yeah.
It ain't just. It's not just one thing. It's. So I'm gonna try to read. Oh, he dropped out of high school.
We coming up 10 seconds.
Okay, we ready.
And then we probably gonna have to finish this and move on to something else.
Welcome back to Club Chit Chat with your DJ, Miss Sophia, right here on We Are You Radio. Oh, I ain't cut that off, honey. I gotta stop it, child. Oh, we go to the next one, honey. Let me pause that, girl. There we go, honey. Hey, welcome to Club Chit Chat with your DJ, Miss Sophia, right here. We Are You Radio. We Are You Radio. We're the home, the urban sound of pride, baby. Yes, we are. Baby, let me tell y'all something. They are in here, honey. I feel like I'm Don. I feel like I'm Anderson Cooper, and I'm in here with Anna Navarre and what's his name? What's my friend name? Charles Blow. Maybe they going
Hey, Charles.
This Nicki Minaj situation, her husband situation, honey.
We were just trying to do our background information because we were getting into an argument here, and I was like, you know what? Let's go back and try to find out this man's history. So
to be clear, my point on this, and then like I kind of really am, because I don't think that we have all of the facts, because this seems to be much more involved than we really have in this little short time span here, and our limited knowledge of it. But my bottom line point is, if it's a rape thing, that's something that is totally different. Totally different. When it's sex involving teenagers who are at the same age and approaching legal adulthood, I think that those cases should be handled on a case-by-case scenario. I don't think that there is a blanket, regardless of what the law says. Laws are set up as boundaries and a blueprint as to what to do. But as we all know, we have a court system, we have attorneys, and we have judges. So when you do come in contact or break the law, you can go to court and they, look at your case, and on each case-by-case scenario, a judgment is made. I think, if it's something as simple as I'm a 16-year-old young man having sex with a 16-year-old young woman, I think that's a case-by-case scenario. And I don't necessarily think that alone should make somebody have to register as a sex offender for the rest of their life. Now, if it's a situation where you have attacked someone, attempted to attack someone, or rape someone, that's something totally
and
different.
since you're talking about that, Petty was convicted of attempted rape back in 1995. He later pleaded guilty to manslaughter charges in 2006 following gunfire that resulted in the death of someone, according to a media outlet. Then it goes on to say the New York State Department labels Petty as a level 2 sex offender, which deems him of having a moderate risk of a repeat offense. This all stems from the 1995 rape conviction of a 16-year-old girl where he allegedly used a knife, cutting instrument of sorts to coerce her into having sex. He was ultimately sentenced to 18 to 54 months in prison.
Okay, so that information is completely different than the information that we started with. And the smirk on your face, JaQuitta, is totally unreasonable.
I'm just reading.
So like I said, with that information, See, are you gonna let me talk?
I am. I'm just saying.
With that information, it does change how I feel about this situation.
Okay.
You know, I do say that that is something that is absolutely serious.
Mhm.
But like I said, as it was presented at the beginning of our conversation, where
Right.
it was a 17-year-old young man having sex with a 16-year-old young woman, that's something different than somebody putting a knife or some instrument up to coerce or force someone to have sex with them, regardless of the age. So
Okay.
that being said, then yes, you do need to now register as a sex offender. And in what you also read, he has other convictions for other things, so he does have a criminal history.
Mm-hmm.
I will go further to say, even that being said, I do believe that at some point, when people show changed behavior as a society and as a human being, where we have all made mistakes,
Yes.
there is some leeway that should be given for people to have been a change, to have changed. You know, and if you can show that in your behavior, then that's one thing. And again, I don't care nothing about this man.
I don't
I'm
know
just
this
simply
man.
right. I don't know this man. I'm just simply stating my opinion. But if he has, you know, attacked someone, then yes, sir, you have to register as a sex offender.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's consensual sex, or that I'm 17 and you're 16 and we're exploring and doing what teenagers do, I don't think that that's necessarily a sexual offense. Thank you. And world peace.
Sophia?
I'm still on the side. If you break the law, you pay the penalty.
There it is. There it is.
Girl, now we don't really want to get into this because, like I said, we done all broke the law. Do we need to talk about some laws you done broke on this air?
Well, I broke the law. I pay the penalty.
No, girl, because I can say
What
something
law
on
I
this air.
broke on this air?
Hello, are you on?
What law I broke on the air?
Police, get ready. 911.
What law I broke on the air?
No, not on the air. I'm saying talk about some laws that you have broken on air that maybe you didn't pay a penalty for because
I got
you were
away.
not found out.
I got away.
Okay.
We all talk about we get away sometimes.
Okay. But let's
Yeah.
let's not act like that we are above breaking the
we're
law.
not acting like
Okay.
that. We just
Okay.
acting like I want everybody else, just like when I get caught, I have to pay the penalty. I'm not fixed to excuse nobody else if they're not excusing me when I get caught.
And I don't think that's 100% fair either, because again, even with
Uh-huh.
with some laws being broken, because sometimes I've had to pee really bad,
Uh-huh.
and so I'm speeding to get home so I can pee, or to the gas station. So if the police stop me, it's like, okay, officer, I was either gonna
You
pee
didn't
on
just
myself.
go outside. Just pull over and do it.
But sometimes, yeah, you know, and I've done that. But it's like, you know, I had to speed because I was trying to hurry up to get to pee. So that's not really just that don't give me no ticket because I got to
Police
pee.
don't care about you. You having to pee.
Mhm.
All he know is you put other people's lives in danger by
because-
speeding.
Mhm.
So if you having to pee and you end up wrecking somebody else, running into somebody else, and you cause a serious accident and somebody else get killed in the car that you hit, and all that because you had to pee.
That's a scenario.
And all that is a possible scenario, and I appreciate that perspective. But
Mhm.
I'm going to go ahead and
Just
try to
pull
move.
over.
I'm going to try to go ahead and move this conversation forward because I can see right now that neither you or JaQuitta want to be real and authentic right
Well,
now.
you
Y'all
should
try,
just-
y'all are
you
trying to
should
play
have a cup in
Republican
your car.
games with me on this
Yeah.
radio, and I'm not going to let you do it any further.
You should
Y'all
have-
not gonna
You should have a cup in your
Because
car.
you
You can
got
just
this-
pull it, you know.
Yeah,
pull
you
it
got-
in the-
I'm not
You
gonna do
wanna
this with y'all
excuse
because
these
y'all
folks,
would
Johnny?
act. No, I'm not saying excuse it, but I
Yeah.
am saying
We
let's
have
not
to
be
be
so
out
judgmental. I'm
We're
saying that
not.
we have
We're
all
not
been
being
on the other side.
judgmental.
Yet this is a whole lot of judgment happening in here, and I'm starting to itch. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not being
That's all
I
I'm
am
saying.
not.
And again, I don't. What's this man's name we talking
His
about?
name is Kenneth Petty.
I don't care nothing about Kenneth Petty, and I think this is all really petty. That we are really going on so far about this now. His sex offense is not petty, but us going on about this because I do believe my bottom line blanket statement is that within the law, some things are case by case scenario. And regardless of
Hold
what
on.
the law is,
Go ahead.
if you don't pay your taxes on time, that's against the law. We've all been guilty of that.
You say in the law, it's something. It's case by case scenario. No, they all are case by case scenario. 'Cause-
No, not all of them.
Yeah,
Something
yeah.
this point. If
No,
you
no,
if
no.
somebody come in here and rape you, that ain't no case like he came in here and raped you.
But they ain't gonna have but one case at a time in court. So it's case
Can
by
we
case.
talk about Lil Nas X?
Oh, girl.
What are we
See,
gonna talk
again,
about
you
Lil
trying
Nas
not to be
X?
out there. Let's talk about Lil Nas X.
So his album came out. So what has been the response from that?
We
They
got-
said it was illegal because can't no man be pregnant and I can't.
We have to get a little
What's
noise
against
into
the
his
law?
own break. We're not going to talk about my sister in the same break as a sex offender.
Yeah,
We're
you
not gonna
right.
do that.
Okay.
Oh, see, look at the
Break.
judgment.
Huh?
Mr. Petty, I'm sorry.
We ain't judging. We just stating
We
fact.
should wanna
Now, we
put
just
those
got
two
to
things
talk. We just
together.
had a whole conversation about Nicki Minaj not quoting fact. We just stated facts. He is a registered sex offender.
Okay.
You know, we put our
Well,
sister in
no,
the
I
same
don't think
break.
he is because that was part of the problem that he didn't register.
No,
so
he is
he's not
registered.
He is registered in
He's
New York.
registered. He did not abide by the law when he went to
to
California
California.
to register
Where
as
you
he
were
should.
living.
Okay, well, he ain't trying to come
And he
have
got
sex with
stopped
me.
by the police because he was on the traffic stop, and that's when they found out that he did not
He
register
did not
as he should
register.
have.
So he had broke the law.
He
while
was breaking the
driving.
law. Ain't nobody decided to give him no pay.
Yeah, what was he speed? Was he speed?
It was a
He
traffic
had no
stop, so
license
yeah,
plate on
there
the
might have
car?
been something.
Well, I see
but
that
the
y'all
officer
do have-
could have just been like, well, you know what, this time go head on. But
Y'all
no,
do
the
have-
officer was doing his job and made him stop. And then when he had stopped, that's when he had found
Right,
out
right.
that this man had not registered in California.
Right. And
He's
I'm
a
glad
sex
that
offender.
we're talking about this, and this has to do with Nicki Minaj because like how all of this started in the beginning, y'all have a little bit in common with Nicki Minaj.
No, I
Because
don't.
Nicki Minaj was tweeting things that her cousin's friend had said, and
Mhm.
it looks like y'all started the conversation without having all the information. So it was kind of
But
like
we did
y'all
our
got it
research.
from your cousin's
We did our
friend.
research.
No, we had
We did our
information that
research.
he was 17, she was 16.
There it is.
But y'all didn't have the full
But we
scope
found out
of
that
the
he was
information.
15 and the
That
young lady was 16,
17.
and he was trying to physically.
So since we got
Mhm.
more
So even that's different than what was said, because he
But
was
it-
younger than the girl that he did
No,
something.
he was not.
He was
JaQuitta just
17.
said it.
He
Now
was
see, you
15,
still don't know.
She was 16.
See, now see,
He was-
Nicki
he had-
Minaj cousin friend, stop. Nicki Minaj cousin friend, this is
He
why I'm gonna
was
have to ask you to
17.
stop. That JaQuitta just read it.
Okay, I'm telling you the story that I read when I did it on the air.
Oh,
He
child.
was
So back
17.
So he
to
must have
don't
been
nobody know
another
what's
one.
happening.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to
And
talk
then
about this no more.
what
I'm shutting
JaQuitta
up.
just-
Y'all got it.
What JaQuitta just said was he was a registered two sex offender, meaning that he was what?
Moderately
Yeah,
dangerous.
Yeah, and
Moderately.
Yeah, moderate.
offender.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's not what it said. Go
That's
back
what
and
it
read
said.
That's what it said.
Okay, let me go. See, really?
And I don't want to talk about this no more. I don't wanna talk about
Like
this no
really,
more.
really. Okay,
Because I
I
don't
got
have
the
any
because I got
information.
out of it, and now let me go back to it.
And the information that I'm
You-
getting
you
is
playing- you
here and
playing.
there and up and down, and I don't know what's true and what's not. When the judge from the court case contacts me,
Lord.
like maybe they'll call me to the courtroom like they called Nikki to the White House.
Whoa, what y'all
Because
think
y'all
about
see-
Wendy Williams too?
Bless her heart.
Don't. What's happening with Wendy Williams?
You know, she said she had
Uh-huh.
she was. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Hold on.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, hold on. No, this is how we're gonna do this. We're not giving her any more information about what's going on.
No, but she want. No,
Hold on.
he said-
No.
Okay.
You need to do your research.
No, I don't need to.
Going
I
on.
But I
didn't know that this
going
is
on.
what we were
There's
talking
But I
about.
read
going on
this
with
part.
Wendy. Hold
I read this part.
Hold
so
on,
let me-
no.
You don't want me to read it
No,
again?
don't read it. I need you to do your research on the Wendy Williams. See what's going on with Wendy Williams, because we may not give you the right information.
You
No,
probably
that I
wrong.
did my research
You
on that
probably
one. I
wrong.
know.
You probably
Well,
wrong.
hey, one
because
one
given-
was
given-
she was having problems doing her promotional
Okay,
stuff.
Don't say that.
Oh,
Let
sorry.
me research.
Okay.
You can't
Because
control
you
what
know
she
you-
says, honey.
Yeah, 'cause
She
you
was
gotta
supposed
do
to be
your
doing her
research. You gotta do your research. Get your
perversion.
own research, because I don't want her giving you the wrong information.
Back to my initial comment toward Wendy Williams. I don't care.
Well, then
Well,
there you go.
you don't care about nothing we talk about.
She's asymptomatic.
Most things.
You don't care about nothing we talk about, but you don't have an opinion about it. So
I don't
since you're
have
going
an
to give
opinion.
your opinion about it, if we talk about
She's
it.
asymptomatic for having COVID.
Well, you asked me what I
And she
thought.
had to
That's
do-
the only reason because I didn't have an opinion because I don't care. I don't know nothing about it. But you asked me what I thought,
She
and
had
then
to
you
go to
started the
hospital
conversation that
because
you
she
didn't
was
want to
having a
complete.
I
psychiatric
didn't ask you that.
evaluation that she had to have. you
Now,
know,
what's
and-
not gonna happen
and
is
now-
this.
What's not going to happen?
This.
Can I read my part with Tom Petty? I mean
Read.
Kenneth Petty.
Read whatever you want to read.
So we can say, just make sure.
You can say whatever you
It
want to say.
says Petty as a level 2 sex offender, which deems him of having a moderate risk of a repeat offense. This all stems from the 1995 rape conviction of a 16-year-old where he allegedly used a knife, a cutting instrument of sorts, to coerce her into sex.
Thank you, certified journalists on the team. We appreciate that.
Okay. Okay. And then as far as Wendy is concerned, well, you want to go to break?
Yeah.
Okay.
Stay tuned.
How you care, Miss Sophia, hold it down right now. Radio, will you radio, we're the home of the urban sound of crime.
Woo-wee.
This is Jay.
JaQuitta Williams.
Jason McLaughlin.
Come on, man. What song woman play? And I'm gonna play
Something about the name Jesus, maybe.
and Call Me Baby. Call me baby. And Call Me Baby.
Okay.
This goes out to Pam. And Call Me Baby.
Whew. Child, what y'all not gonna do?
Also, he's faced several serious legal issues, including rape and murder.
So see, you still reading about it. So we
No,
talking about shit we ain't got nothing about.
It's a different article I'm reading.
So we talking about shit we don't know
Including
nothing
rape
about. None
and
of us.
murder, for which he served prison time on different occasions. He is a registered sex offender and a convicted murderer. Ooh, okay. And they call him Zoo. Okay, so he served almost 4 years in prison. And in the 2000s, he was again convicted of first-degree murder. He was sentenced to prison where he served 7 years in prison.
Yeah. Yeah, my sister's still over there on there.
He ain't.
Pam say she don't care about
She don't
that
care
no
no
more.
more.
She
Mm-mm.
about
She
the
don't care
other
no more.
stuff.
Mm-mm. I just,
You
I
look
was
like
like,
the
okay, if
Wendy
it's
Williams?
multiple cases, I wanted to see what, what it was. And it's unfortunate about Wendy, but I'm like, I don't want it to happen to her, but I don't, for whatever reason, feel sorry for her either.
Oh.
What?
We'll talk about it on there.
So all this says, and I don't know, you seem to have some other information as you do with all the stories that have come up, but what this says is production of Wendy Williams' eponymous? Is that the word? Eponymous? What does that mean? I ain't never seen that before. Daytime talk show has been postponed as she recovers from a breakthrough case of COVID-19. An announcement posted Wednesday on show's verified Instagram accounts reads, while continuing her health evaluations, Wendy has tested positive for a breakthrough case of COVID-19. To allow Wendy time to quarantine and fully recover and ensure that our production fully abides by SAG-AFTRA and DGA COVID protocols, we expect to begin the 13th season of the Wendy Williams Show on Monday, October 4th. The statement read, in the meantime, repeats will be scheduled. As is described, breakthrough cases of President and the statement posted last week in the show's account. It had been announced that Williams was canceling her promotional activities as she was dealing with some ongoing health issues and undergoing further evaluations. Last year she took a break while dealing with Graves' disease. That's all it says. So is there something else that you have, Joe?
Yep, they took her to the hospital.
Joe, you not answering?
No, the first story was she had
breakthrough case of COVID.
they said she was canceling her show because she was suffering from some mental health
Yeah,
issues.
this is sad.
That's not what this says.
You need to Google Wendy
Exactly.
Williams' latest news. Maybe
Yeah.
your article
This is from 2 days ago.
Okay,
Yeah,
so that's all.
The day before that
Wendy
came
Williams is taken to the hospital for psychiatric evaluation after she's spotted looking frail.
What date is that?
This is 1 day ago. Right here.
Let's touch this and see. This says September 26th. I mean September 16th. This also says September 16th.
But then it
This
says
is
it was
on.
updated September 17th.
17th.
2021, right now. At 3:11.
Wendy Williams, that's it. Okay, but if she's battling COVID-19, she could be looking frail. So, okay, we can talk about this because see, this is about to start a whole new thing for me because I don't like stuff like this.
What? Her having COVID?
I don't like people riding people and trying to always make people's situations kind of be more what they want to fit their narrative. I mean, because let's look at what it is. If you have COVID-19 and you're battling and you're not feeling well and you already have a disease where your immune system is already compromised, you probably are looking frail. So why can't we just leave it at that? Because again, it seems that. Well, we don't know that. We don't know that. We don't know that.
You don't know you don't think it's just that, and all the people that she's had on her show lately and how she's been kind of rude.
She's always been rude.
No, but this is worse.
Is it? And I haven't been watching Wendy Williams because one, I've been work too much, and two, I've not had cable until 2 days ago. I've not had television.
I don't watch her, but I will see the stuff that she's done on her show on social media. And there was a little fella, I think he was a young boy who was a blogger or something. He had a lot of fans or whatever, and she was saying all this stuff about him, and then she was like, "Oh, he died," like very cavalier, and she got a lot of backlash from that response and how she was, and some other things that she's done since then.
And so we can talk about this on there because this might get too deep.
Yeah, I'm talking about it already.
But where is our humanity and humility when it comes to people? I mean, and not again, I'm not a Wendy fan. I'm just on the side of empathy and compassion.
She doesn't give.
It don't matter. She ain't responsible for me. I'm responsible for me. Whether she gives it or not, I give it. Like it don't have nothing to do with her. Like the woman has gone through a divorce. She has gone through a lot of things publicly. Can she be having some psychiatric problems right now? Absolutely. She has every right to, every recipe for that. That she always been mean.
We coming up after this. This is right here.
She always been mean. And I'm not even saying that that's right. But I am saying when and where do we as humans allow people to be human, regardless of what she's done? Because again, when we go to heaven, they ain't gonna ask us, what you think about Wendy Williams? They gonna ask JaQuitta, well, you did X, Y, Z. So that's why when I say I don't care, because I'll talk about it, but really, I don't care. I want her to be the best woman she can be.
20 seconds.
Just like I want you to be the best woman, and him to be the best, and me to be the best. But like all this,
but I'm not gonna be the best by knocking other people down.
You got some of your.
She built a whole career of that, though. You know what I'm saying? Like that's nothing new. It would be different to me.
Oh,
there you go.
Nice on your shirt.
Nice on your shirt. It would be different if all of a sudden she became this mean person. Wendy Williams, her whole shtick is being a mean person.
Welcome back to Club Chit Chat with your DJ Miss Sophia right here on We Are You Radio. We Are You Radio. We are the home of the urban sound of pride. Let me tell y'all something.
Girl, we was ready
These
today.
JJ and J's in here today.
And I didn't even know.
Everything is hot. Now we talking about Wendy Williams. We talking about Wendy Williams. And,
Jason thinks we should be more empathetic, and I'm like, I'm not being empathetic. I'm not gonna knock the woman when she's down, but I also think you have to also take ownership. She has been mean and catty and said disparaging and ugly things on air. She passed out on air, then turned right around and talked badly about one of the Clark sisters. Like, she has done numerous things, and I'm not saying I want this woman to die or whatever that she's dealing with. But I also think there's something about reciprocity when you keep spewing out negativity and you're getting back some of the things that, perhaps the karma has given you. And so I don't want anything bad to happen to her. But now that it is, I'm just like, well, and that's it.
And
I'm not happy.
I totally get your point, and I agree with some of the things that you said. My only stance is when I read the article that you just showed me talking about her psychiatric or mental state, and I mean, if we think about it, Wendy Williams is a woman that has every right and all the recipe to be in a compromised mental state right now. She's going through a divorce. Publicly or divorce, went through that publicly. Her life has changed, been turned upside down due to that and numerous things. We are in the midst of a pandemic. We've been socially distanced. She's been off work. All of the things in her life that have been quote unquote normal and kind of routine and a source for her are now gone. So is she possibly undergoing psychiatric help? I would think so. And rightfully, she probably should, as anybody that would be going through that. If I were married for 20 years and got divorced, I would probably need some psychiatric help. So I think for us to, again, our society right now has become so almost hate spewing, and we want people to fit the narrative that we have for them and that we see for them, instead of allowing for us as humans to be humans, and not. Wendy Williams has always been mean. She's always talked bad about people.
Negativity.
She's always spewed negativity. That's nothing new. The people that like her, they like her for that. The people that don't like her, they don't like her for that. That's a given. I'm not even speaking to that. But what I am speaking to is that where is our compassion and empathy as human beings? And if you don't like her, she's not responsible for me. She's not responsible for you. You are responsible for you. I'm responsible for me. So just because she don't do it, don't mean that I'm not gonna give it back. That's not how you. I believe you lead by example. So if I want to teach somebody to be empathetic, I'm going to be empathetic.
Tabitha Brown too. I'm like, here's the thing. She's
a bitter woman. She's a bitter woman. So
woman.
her and Tabitha Brown's response to her on Instagram that I saw was beautiful and amazing. And she said herself, "Baby, I understand how you would not understand this," which is absolutely 100% right. Kudos to you, Tabitha Brown. But Tabitha Brown did not dog that woman, which she absolutely could have. But Tabitha Brown, and I'm not saying you are. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying you are. But Tabitha Brown had the empathy to say, "Baby, I understand you don't know what this is, and you have never known what this is, so you cannot speak to this." Like they like to say now, Wendy Williams, you don't have the range to speak to a loving marriage, and I understand that. So, baby, I'm not even mad at you. And she said to her, "I hope that one day you can experience this for yourself."
But at some point, you as an individual has to take responsibility for the things that you have done as a person. That's how you grow.
And yes, I believe that's not on our time schedule. That's not on our
time schedule. You're right. It's on hers. But I'm saying, because these things keep happening to her, you fall out on TV, your relationship is over, now you have COVID, now there's some kind of psychiatric issue that you've had. Perhaps all of those things are happening to you because you're not getting the lesson. And because you need to get the lesson, and until you get it, this stuff will continue to happen. So I'm not going to push the woman now that she's down, but I'm not going to also say I'm sad it's happening to her, because she's done it for so long. She's built a career on it. Now it's time to do something differently, perhaps.
Perhaps, and that will be for her to see, and that's her journey. And for me, I'm not going to revel in anybody's.
I'm not reveling.
Or even let it be a topic and try to be like, And we all have to face karma. We all have to reap the seeds that we sow.
And she's reaping hers.
And we can see that.
We're just here to
we can see that. So I don't even see when people say like, what you think? Child, I think she's getting she's reaping what she sowed. If that's the case, and it's just as simple as that, And again, I would want the same empathy toward me in my life if I did things,
But then you've got to give empathy, because she's the same person who will say something negative about somebody or talk about somebody's marriage, but then won't talk about her own.
But you see what happened to hers. You see what happened to hers. Yeah, that's why Tabitha Brown handled it the way she did. She said to her, "Baby, you don't know what this is, and you have never known what this is." But you would think that once
it happened to her with her relationship with her husband, better.
Hopefully, but that again, that's not on our schedule and our time frame.
I'm not saying it is.
That's according to her and God.
Can I jump in here?
Come on, baby.
I hear both sides. And my thing is, it's just like with all of us. Mm-hmm. We do stuff. And when we're wrong, we try to correct our wrong. Mm-hmm. We go to the person who we have wrong and try to make it better. Mm-hmm. We haven't seen that with her. Mm-hmm. It's just like when she passed out on television, when she was dressed as the Statue of Liberty, she got herself together, she came back, she is the same Wendy Williams. Mm-hmm. Wendy Williams done dealt with all kinds of situations. It goes all the way back to when she dealt with the interview with Whitney Houston. That's everybody talk about the Whitney Houston interview with Wendy Williams. So she come back and she do the same thing. So it's just like she's doing all this stuff for money. And then the thing that JaQuitta is trying to get you all to see is the same thing that I want people to see when it comes to Wendy Williams. It's not that we wish bad on her. No. But it's hard for you to feel sorry for her because she is going through a situation right now. do we think about the countless amount of people that she have put in the situation that she's in now?
That's it.
When has she reached out to those people and said, I'm sorry?
I'm sorry.
But I can't speak
like,
to that. I don't know if she has or not. But even
But
she
the
never
thing about-
has.
But the thing
how
about
do
it
you know
is,
that
because
definitively?
she get on TV and she's the same person. Now, if you have made some kind of adjustments where you change the way you do things, then we're going to see that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you get on the TV and I have witnessed you go through this, you done passed out, I've witnessed you go through your divorce. There are a lot of people that you have interviewed on your show that have went through a divorce.
Mm-hmm.
So now you see how that feel. But you still come back after your divorce and you going through your divorce publicly and you're the same Wendy Williams. So it's just like the empathy that you want us to show you, you need to start showing it to people. And until you start showing it to people, then a lot of people are not going to like, okay, Wendy Williams is going through, okay. So it's like, Wendy Williams going, okay.
Which is how I feel.
Yeah,
Okay, but I will
but then
say,
it's like you can't be more upset with the people who don't show the empathy
Mm-hmm.
towards her that you feel that they should give her when she don't do it.
again, I'm talking to two friends of mine, JaQuitta and Sophia Joe.
Mm-hmm.
So I want my friends to be empathetic, regardless of how people are towards you. Just as I strive to be myself, people have done things to me. I still have empathy for them. I may not talk to them, you know, and I do also, and I'm aware that they will reap what they sow. And when I see it, I'm just you get what you give. You know, but my issue is that we seem to society. This is a societal thing right now. In a lot of ways, we revel and celebrate people's discourse
But
and
see,
people's.
that's not us. That's not us.
Well,
There are those
so
people.
to finish my point, because we brought this up on a platform for people to listen to. So, you know, we know each other personally and we know who we are at heart. But for people listening, you know, let's give the story, but let's also give a spin, and let's also encourage people to, you know, hopefully one day this woman will get it, because you're right, she's experienced a lot of tragic things in her life within the last few years that hopefully will be a wake-up call for her to.
She hasn't done it yet.
But and we don't know that though, because I don't talk to Wendy Williams. I don't know if you do or not. So I don't know right now what Wendy Williams is at home thinking, doing, you know, contemplating, even saying that tomorrow I'm gonna be different. I don't know that. So I hope that when she does resurface, that maybe she has gotten it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I don't know that for sure. And again, all of us are on this process and journey of life. Then hopefully the person that we were yesterday is not the person that we are today, and the person that we will be tomorrow. So, you know, although we may want you to get it, sometimes some of it takes a little bit longer to get it. And again, back to what we said, and you even said yourself, Joe, just now, and what you said in the comments that you made. This is nothing new for Wendy Williams. She has been doing this since we knew Wendy Williams, since the world knew Wendy Williams. She has been mean. She has talked about people. She has gossiped about people. She has reveled in people's discourse. This is nothing new. So, like, the shock at it is not, so you either are a fan of that and subscribe to it, or you're not. You know, like, this is nothing new for her. So that's why even when she does that, and we talk, like, that's
But you would
what she
think
does.
if that happened, if that was how I built my career, starting. But at some point, after things keep happening to me personally, I'm talking about people, I'm like, I would switch some stuff up.
Mm-hmm.
I still wouldn't try to be holding on to that part of my life if I have experienced loss like I have, having a problem with my child who was on some kind of synthetic drugs, losing my husband who now has a whole new woman with another baby. I passed out on national television, and then not weeks later, I'm talking about the Clark sisters. The Clark sisters. Like, there is no cause or effect for her. And again,
Well, clearly there is.
Here's the thing.
She's dealing with the effects
She's
right
dealing
now.
yes, because life is giving it to her.
Right.
But my thing is, you would hope that life wouldn't have to give it to you. Something in you would make you want to be a little bit better.
That's the unfortunate thing about life, though. Sometimes it does take situations like this and circumstances
But
like this
how
for you to
many?
get. But that's not for us to say. That's not for us to say.
Well, it's not for me to say, but then it's not also for me. I don't have to feel empathy for her. I don't relish in what she's going through. Not at all. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. But it doesn't require that I feel sorry for her now.
Empathy and feeling sorry are
Or
two different
empathy.
things.
I don't feel empathy. I'm sorry. I feel nothing I do not feel empathy. I don't want anything bad to happen to her. I don't feel empathetic. I'm just kind of like, oh, okay. I'm like with Miss Sophia said. Oh, okay.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna. I'm not laughing. I'm just like, oh, okay.
Yeah. And for me, I do feel empathy because kind of like Tabitha Brown said in her statement toward her after she made the comments about her. I realized this very early on when I started to see Wendy Williams is a person that has some very deep troubles of her own. I would guess to say, and
I think
I'm
she
not
does. You're right.
I'm
She
not a
does.
doctor, but just from basic human knowledge that I have in dealing with people, she is definitely someone, a hurt woman that has been hurt probably, if not her entire life, most of her life, even from childhood. So because of that, it has caused her to be the type of woman that she is, and to obtain and make the career that she has for herself. So it's for me, it's beyond what she does. It's beyond her actions because I can see past that. This is all stemming from a place of hurt and lack within you. So it makes me look at her differently. Most of the stuff that she says, I laugh at anyway. And even she said stuff about celebrities that I know personally that I know is not true. It's funny to me because it's just like I'm saying to you all. It's like, do y'all know this stuff personally? And I say that sometimes I actually say that out loud to the TV when I watch it. Girl, do you know that person? You don't even know these people that you're talking about. You should be making these statements, and that can be farther from the truth. So I think that for me, like I keep things into perspective, so I don't put as much stake, where does it go? Into what she may say. Mm-hmm. Just kind of like I said about Nicki Minaj.
But I mean, and I don't care what Wendy says and does. My thing is, as people, we are all growing and trying to elevate and be better people. I don't see any change in Wendy from when she started her career to the 50-something-year-old woman that she is now. She has been tainting people, been negative her entire career. And I'm just saying, there may be people who are empathetic towards her, but at some point, my God, can you look in the mirror, all those things that you're hurt by? Do the work. Because after a while, if I keep being ugly, negative, nasty, people don't owe me anything.
No, they don't.
You're just being nasty.
I think also for me, it's like Wendy Williams have hurt so many people, and now I think Wendy Williams is still being the Wendy Williams she is just for the money. And now she's doing it just for the money, and in the process of doing it just for the money, now Wendy Williams is hurting herself. Mm-hmm. Because she won't go and get herself the help that she needs. Mm-hmm. Her body has to shut down in order for her to go and get the help that she needs. Wendy Williams' body had to shut down for her to go and admit her to be admitted into the treatment center. Now she's dealing with the COVID and stuff, but even before that, every time she deals with her body has to just shut down before she takes care of herself. So when is Wendy Williams going to take care of her?
Well, in my limited experience with addiction and people dealing with addiction, she is behaving like addicts behave. And let's not forget, she is a drug addict and alcoholic, and she is acting like
she's doing that again.
She is acting like addicts behave, and
but hold on, but she tells us from her mouth that that's in her past, but it's a daily struggle.
Because that's what addiction is. Addiction is a disease, and it is a daily struggle. And she may not be necessarily using drugs per se, but whatever is feeding her need or that addiction trait or gene is what it is. If it's gossip, if it's whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? That's why I say her behavior is still that of someone who is an addict.
But it's not working.
And it's not, but that's a part of it because it is bigger than her, and it is bigger than even what she's doing. This is a woman, in my opinion, that really does have real serious problems, mental problems and or addiction problems. So it's beyond just, you should get it by now. No, she really needs real help, real counseling, real long-term, possibly rehab, because it's, addicts can
but who's
also
gonna do that but her.
And so it is up to her. That's not an argument either. I guess my thing again, like, because we look at the things and get it. Like, I read one article and it said simply COVID-19. Then another article that you showed me said, psychiatric thing and mental stuff. And my only point is that absolutely. I mean, I think we would be stupid to think that the woman isn't having mental problems right now. I mean, like I said, look at what's going on in her life, and that she is deemed a nasty person or is a nasty person. So you got all these things. So yeah, your head is probably mixed up. I don't argue that. My hope and prayer for you is that you will get out of that, and that you don't have to lose your life. Because I also think that, because I've seen glimpses of, I think, and maybe I'm just so optimistic in people, I think that there is something there in her that is loving and that can be loving and that wants to be loving and to be loved. But because you have been a person in your opinion and mine, on the outside of that for probably your entire life, you don't even realize that or recognize that yourself. So it makes you be this ugly human being.
All the time.
Which, she's not alone in that. There are some people that we know in our personal lives that are like that. And for me, that is the part that is sad.
Well, I just think it's sad because if there are issues that I've had in my own life, and I have made sure that I did the steps that I need to do in order to get better,
mm-hmm.
to do the work,
mm-hmm.
to get better.
Mm-hmm.
And it just looks like she never wants to do the work.
Mm-hmm.
Never.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I hope whatever this is, she comes out of it. But, okay. Okay.
And you're right, and I
That's
do
all
too.
I got. Okay.
And I do too.
I think she needs to wrap that show up. Like, she don't even need, I don't think she needs to come back for the season. Cut it off and then get yourself some help.
Yeah.
Just go away.
And I actually think that the
I
network's
think
probably
that-
going to push for that.
Go
I think
away.
this may be
It's
the
too
last
much.
one.
And
Yeah.
that was my thing, and I was thinking that now that she's just dealing with problem on top of problem, they see that she's not willing to take herself out of the equation and go get the help that she needs. It's up to the network.
Yeah.
The network have to stop renewing her contract, so they are no better than her. She is doing what she's doing for the money. The network keep renewing her contract for the money. They don't care about her as the person.
Well, and
They just care about her.
I just want to challenge the thought that yes, it's for the money, but it's even deeper than that. It's because this woman, based on what it looks like, this is all she knows. You know what I'm saying? And in a lot of ways, her behavior, her antics have been a survival tactic and almost a defense. You know what I'm saying? So yes, it's the money, but it's also, this is all I know.
But she could do something
Yeah,
else.
but
She
she
had a
got-
clothing line.
But she don't really know that.
She did TV shows. She got a production company. She had a movie that she did with Aaliyah or the life of Aaliyah. She could do things. She's in radio. She is not. That's all she knows. She has done things.
But it's all been centered around and based around her being the gossipy,
Well, she needs to come up with something else.
trash talking,
Come up with something else.
Wendy Williams that we know.
Come up with something else. Come up with something else. Come up with, because
And I
that
guess
that
my
life
plea-
is killing
I
her.
guess my plea.
It's killing her.
I guess my plea is that and that I
She
just
got
wanted to say-
lymphedema, eyes bugged all out. Sorry.
I can't. I
Sorry.
can't.
She needs to reinvent herself. Like
My-
everybody
Yes.
My
Thank you.
My
Yes.
thought is to allow the space for people to go through what they need to go through, because it's not that easy. And everything that you said is right, but it's not. And again, we're dealing with an addict. It's not that easy, because if it was, we wouldn't have addicts. Addiction wouldn't even be a thing. If it was that easy, all of our lives would be perfect. We
I
all got
understand
some
that.
stuff right now that we're still working on. And some of us are deeper into our shit than others. And this is a woman that is real deep in her shit.
But won't pull herself out of it.
Because it's not that easy. It's not that easy.
Okay, but I understand that. But is that going to be the excuse?
It's not an
It's not
excuse,
that
it's the
easy.
reality. It's not an excuse,
Okay,
it's the reality.
Okay, it is not that easy. You're right. But at some point, either you're going to do something to help yourself or you're going to die.
And that's what it
It's
is.
black and white.
And my hope and
At the
prayer
rate
is
that
that
she's
something
going-
is done before she dies.
Okay.
Let's look at Whitney Houston. What happened to her?
That's
And it's
it.
the same thing. It's the same thing. So my hope, as it was for Whitney, that you will do what you need to do before you die.
Okay. Well, we'll
before
agree
you
on
lose
that.
your life.
This is your girl, Miss Sophia, holding it down right here. We are your
High
radio.
five.
We are the home of the urban side of pride, and on Saturday we just have the JJJs in here talking live. Come on, baby. What song is this? The Best of My Love, honey. Mary J. Blige. Yes, the best of my love. Wendy Williams, she just want the best of y'all love.
Okay.
Yeah, but like I said, it is sad and unfortunate that she is so far in her because and I've been saying this for the
She's gonna
longest.
kill herself.
She's acting still like an addict. Like
I
I say, and even if
and
she's
that's
not
the
drinking her own
that's the
drugs,
other
she is definitely
rumor.
acting like an addict. Yeah.
That's the other
But
rumor.
the thing
that
about it
she's
is,
back
when she
into her
went
using.
to the rehab, then Kevin told the people. Kevin was the one telling the people that she's back doing drugs, and then she went back to. That's when she ended up going to rehab.
But again, even with an addict too, with all the things that have happened in her life, that will make you spiral back into that cycle again.
But
so it's even
But it's
bigger
almost
than.
like she didn't
But it's
spiral
like
until she got found out when old boy. It was almost like she had a handle on it before everybody else knew that he was having this relationship. Not only that they have a child, so she didn't have no choice but to get a divorce.
Well, I think and this is just speculation. I think she knew about it long before it was public, and long before other people knew about it. So the whole time she was trying to save face, you know what I'm saying? But then as it became more and more and more, and she could no longer save face, then the humiliation. Because again, I really do think that Wendy Williams is a person because she kind of talked about it. Like she didn't really have the best relationship with her parents, her mother. She didn't have, the best childhood really in her mind.
A lot of us didn't.
Right, but when you're already all of us are different and built differently.
Yes.
Some things, some of us can handle better than others, and something, where you're strong, I may be weak, and vice versa. I think this is a person that had so many things so early on, and also with the trait and gene of addiction, that adds a whole nother layer of stuff. People with the gene of addiction, it's a total, like my personal experience with it with family members, it destroys people, literally.
Well, I think this is going to destroy her.
The most talented, smartest, beautiful,
you can't get
handsome,
out your own way.
It destroys you. And some people can never get it. Never.
Okay.
So
Those are the Amy Winehouse.
people like that.
Those are the
Whitney
Whitney.
Houston.
Those are
People
the
that have been
friends.
in our families, my own family, that have died, because they can't get out of their own way because it's so much. And it takes, it's up to them. And it's also the support that they have around them and the people that they have around them. And unfortunately, Wendy Williams, because she is a public figure, she is a celebrity, and she does have lots of money. People, it's very difficult for you to get people that are going to be real with you. And even with that, it's still up to her. You see what I'm saying? You have people around you that still going to do whatever you tell them to do because their livelihood depends on it.
That's the money.
They eat depending on, so they're, so you're in a whole situation where it's easy for you to stay in this spiral. You see what I'm saying? So it's just, that's this whole celebrity world.
I don't understand, and I don't understand addiction, let me say that. But I don't understand how, if I were her, and I'm not her, but if JaQuitta, if I was married to a man, my marriage ended, I got lymphedema, I got this medical issue, I passed out, I've lost my mother died, and all of these things that were happening to me based on how I got my career, something about me would say, this is too much shit that's happening to me. I got to get it together. Now you got COVID. Now you can't even go to your job to do your promos because you're mentally not there. So now that's your money. And the company that you're they gonna make the decision for you because this is too much bad press. Well, I doubt she's gonna be able to keep her show.
Right.
And if she loses her show, I think that's gonna be just the coffin in the grave for her.
Right. Well,
because she lives her life based on that.
Well, you're speaking as a person who's not an addict, number one. So you don't have that.
Before the addict. Okay, let's just say if I was a normal person. Because she wasn't always an addict.
Yes, when you're an addict, from what I learned about it, from going through Alcoholics Anonymous when I was a child with my grandfather, that's a gene. It's literally a disease, and there's a gene. There's something in you chemically that makes you become addicted to stuff. Okay. That's why you have some people that are addicts and some people that are not. Some people that can have a few drinks and be okay, and some people that go on alcoholic binges and are addicted to alcohol because it's something in you chemically so it's something that you always are. It isn't until you actually start the whatever that you become addicted to that it really comes into effect. You see what I'm saying?
How do you get out of the cycle? How does she win?
Like she said, it's a constant day-to-day battle to not.
But my thing is, how, if you know you got that stuff in you chemically or whatever, it almost sounds like you were doomed to fail. If you look at certain stories, you look at Whitney, all the talent, the drugs that you get off of them, got off them for a little bit, went back, got a drug, now you're gone. Michael K. Williams, I've been researching him.
The same thing with him.
Had
That was
a
something
drug.
I wanted to talk about too, because Ava shared a tweet. She posted something that was in an interview that he had that she said that she never knew happened, because she confronted him about his drug use when he was in her movie, and he said to himself that he knew that he had to be honest with her, because if he didn't, he wouldn't get the job. And in this post, she talked about how she wished that, you know, she thinks that he could have gotten better, that, you know, that she could have done more. She said, but then she realized that that was selfish and that there was nothing more that she could do, because this was his thing and his fight, which it really is. That's what addiction.
But it almost sounds like you can't win.
Well, it depends.
It sounds like you can't
It
win.
depends on the person. It depends on the person. It depends on the person, and in some cases, hopefully, they can win. But that's why I say it's much deeper than even what we see on the surface. It's much deeper. It's much, much deeper. And it's one of those things that until the person consciously says, every single day, I'm not going to do this, they're always at risk of doing it.
Well, it's almost like she needs
My
to
mother,
get
I'm going to
out
share,
of
be
her-
vulnerable. No, we don't. Anyway, yeah.
It's almost like she needs to get out of that business, because the business feeds into everything
And it
that
may
she's
be.
worked hard to suppress, or, you know, from the way she looks, being big as a big woman, maybe her self-esteem, all of that is wrapped into television.
It may be. And, you know, unfortunately, though, she may
And
get
saying,
out of
look
it.
at that person, not me, look at them, they do.
But the unfortunate thing is that, on one hand, you're right, and it also could be that television is saving her life, because of how addiction works. They blame things for the reason why they do their addiction. So if she got out of television and then the money wasn't coming in and she wasn't, you know, this, because I also think she's a narcissist, which is a whole nother,
yes, she
that's a
is.
whole nother mental,
Yes, she is.
chemical mental thing that I didn't realize was a real disease,
It's a
but it
thing.
is. It's a
Yes,
real
it is.
disease.
Oh God, yes.
That could also cause her to spiral more, because the only thing that feeds that is now gone. You see what I'm saying? So it's she has to consciously, like she said, fight to not every single day.
I just don't think I don't even think she'll consider getting the help that she needs, whether it be medically, psychiatrically, until she loses everything.
Well,
She
if
has to pass out.
something would have to cause her to want to, you know.
I think
My
if
sister-
she loses her show, she would.
My mother refers to my sister as an angel, as a literal angel, and I believe that's true. Had my mother not gotten pregnant with my sister, who knows? I might be sitting here motherless today. But until something really comes and makes people change whatever it is, or an
It's
angel
like, but what
comes
is
from
it gonna
heaven.
take?
It-
You pass out on television. You've lost your marriage. You've got lymphedema, a case that causes your extremities to balloon. Your eyes bulge. Like, what else? Your child almost died based on some kind of drug he was using, some kind of marijuana, whatever that. So, what is it gonna take? Because one of them would have got me, just one, but you got 4, 5, 6, 7. What is it going to take? Your mama died.
But we're all different.
I know that. I know that. I just, you know, part of me is like, I don't want the woman to die or something bad to happen to her. But it just feels like it's the road that she's on. It's her trajectory.
I
Because
love
I'm
that
like,
word.
it's thinking, I just,
I love that word.
unless she makes the decision to do something about
And you're
it.
right. You're right. I mean,
And I'm
I
like,
do
what
feel
else?
100%.
Like all these examples I'm giving, anybody would have been like, well, damn,
Mhm.
that's enough. I got to do better.
I agree.
And so, but no, I don't want nothing to happen to her. But I don't feel nothing. I'm standing on that. I don't feel nothing. I don't
want nothing to happen.
I don't want nothing to happen to her. But I do not feel. I don't feel nothing.
I feel that
Not nothing.
it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate and sad to see somebody go down this spiral and not be able to get themselves
Yourself
together.
out of it.
That's
Okay, you
that's
know
how
what?
I
I'll
feel.
give you that.
That's how I feel. You know, and that's why for me, it's not something that I really have to give a lot of energy to, because it's more than anything, it makes me feel sad for the lost potential, and sad for that this is another person who has lost to this horrible thing, you know, like you said, the Amy Winehouses, the Whitney Houstons, the numerous people. The Michael. Yeah. The and everything that I've seen about him from anybody
Like, I feel
talks about
sad for him.
talks about how wonderful of a person he was. And even a guy that I know that worked on a movie with him even told me, this was a few years ago, how awesome he was. And then like, Jason, you would have really, really liked him. You know, 'cause it was like, I kind of have a crush on him. He's like, yeah, you would have really liked him because he was just that type of person where he was charismatic, he was engaging to everybody, you know, and I could see where he seemed like that type of person. So like, that is one of those things for me. It's just it's so sad to see.
That made me so sad because it's like, God, sometimes you realize no matter how great you are, the demon that rides with you can take you over.
Like my step grandmother always says, and my mother even says, the devil comes to steal, kill, and destroy. And he uses all of our weaknesses to try to do that. Some people, unfortunately, he can actually get to and really get. You know, my uncle that just died in November, it was the same way. Uncle Eddie, extremely talented, could have been anything. But like my mother said, even after she died, she said, I'm so sad that the devil had such a hold on him that he just could not seem to ever shake it. And that's what it is.
Why can't you see it? Because it's like, I know when the devil is messing with me.
Some people can't shake
it. I know it.
Some people can't shake it. And some people even know it, but because of that thing, you know, they have moments of when they're okay, but
they'll yield to the feeling of the devil before they would anything else.
But that's what the devil does. He comes to kill, steal, and destroy. And just some people he can get. Some people he can get.
And sometimes I'm like, is that strength? What is that person that he can get? What do they lack?
Dapper I was speaking to Dapper 208. He's in the chat room. Rebel TV. What's going on?
Just makes me sad.
Oh, baby. Chanel. Oh my God.
What?
The JJ.
What, girl?
And it's so funny because we're friends. Sometimes I forget about the journalism me, and I just get the.
That's fine, child. We need that. That's a good. That's why I said the trained journalist on the panel here.
This was the first. I'm like, oh yeah, I am not being JaQuitta Williams.
That's good. But sometimes you get it, but that's.
You
might not be a good job on TV if they hit it.
I might be.
Right.
I might be with the way television is.
It's going now, right? That's exactly what we want.
They want you to.
Reality journalism. That's what we need to do.
Oh my God.
Be out in the streets just covering stories just raw and uncut. Bitch, why is you over here doing this?
4 minutes, 20 seconds.
4 minutes?
To end this, yes.
4 minutes left on the break?
4 minutes after this for this song.
Child, these breaks long now.
Well, no, we talked the last time.
Oh,
yeah.
we showing two breaks together.
We're trying to do
we're supposed to have a break in between.
The actual show.
Baby, y'all talk from 4:30 to 5 o'clock.
We got some stuff to say.
I see.
This man is so fine to me too.
Oh yeah, he is.
Ooh.
He's a great actor
yes,
too. I love it. He's talented. You know who I think is really, really beautiful too is
thank you, girl.
Is Denzel Washington's son. Oh my God. I just find
Wanna go to Morehouse?
Yeah, what is his name? I think it was
Sexy.
His name is
John Michael?
Yes.
Michael. Is it John Michael?
John Michael. I think he's like he looks just like his mother to me in male form. But I just saw.
And it's funny because he does look like her, but he has the mannerisms of Denzel. So it makes him kind of look like him too in a way, you know. Yeah. So.
But I like the way he looks. I think he's even more attractive than his father.
Really?
I do.
He's just a young Denzel.
No, because even like when Denzel was young, Denzel was nice looking. But like if you look at Denzel and put his son next to him, I'd be like, well, let me get that son real quick for $200.
She's a cool girl. Oh my God.
Let me get that son for $200 because he is.
Oh my God, she's a cool girl.
He's just dreamy. I think and I can't wait to see the other show, Our Kind of People, with Morris Chestnut and Yaya DaCosta. I can't wait to see that show. I think that's gonna be pretty good.
Could somebody in the chat room, could y'all send me a super chat so I get my check? Send me a super chat. Super chat or cash app. Really, super chat.
What's the super chat?
Super chat is how they pay you on YouTube. They send you cash. Send me a
I'm
super
sweating
chat.
here, honey.
You sweat?
Somebody send me $100 super chat.
Like, you don't feel this thing
I
on me?
don't feel it, honey.
Maybe because it's
You
more
have?
on me.
Alright, honey.
This them sweatpants. Why you got on them hot breeches? That's the
These
band
got-
breeches.
These
Ooh.
Band breeches.
got AC.
Let's go over to Georgia Tech. Let's go open, baby. Is that what open up there?
Yeah.
Come on, Ann. You got 2 minutes. Oh, yeah. Sing Ann Nisby. Girl, I got Ann Nisby pumping. They're going to turn me off on YouTube.
What you mean?
Girl, they flag me for this music. I don't own the rights to this music. Please leave me alone, YouTube. That's Ann Nisby music. I'm just enjoying it, Mr. Son. Mr. Son, I'm just enjoying Miss Ann Nisby. Please don't mess with me.
Oh, Lord.
I need super chat, I need cash app, and I need some Popeye's chicken. Y'all hook a girl up. Hook a girl up, honey. Like y'all the fans that say, I'm not broke, I'm temporary out of cash. She said, you never broke, my love. My beloved, you're never broke, beloved. You're
Okay.
temporarily out of cash.
Okay.
Because there's more to come.
Okay.
And let me see if she writes. Super chat and cash at me. $100. $50. $20. And the rest we'll do tomorrow. The 5s, the 1s, and the $2 bill. Girl, we coming up, girl. 20 seconds.
Oh, that 2 minutes went from 2 to 20. I mean, 4 to 2 to 20. Quick.
It don't take long. Welcome back to Club Chit Chat with the DJ Miss Sophia right here on We Are You Radio. We Are You Radio. We are the home of the urban sound of pride, baby. I'm in here with my special guest, honey, J and J.
JaQuitta Williams and Jason McLaughlin.
Jackson had to step out, honey. He had to go boo-boo.
Oh.
Child, yeah, them chips, them cookies had boy about them M&M's, them peanuts. I told him to leave them peanuts alone. Now he in there. in there in the restroom and all that. Baby, ooh, baby, we got, girl, they have been talking, baby, every subject we have touched on today, this has been a hot butt subject.
Did you wash your hands? Everything come out all right?
You did, but I ain't washed them, and I'm about to put them all over you.
Baby, but now we want to talk about something light, honey.
Yes, Lord.
So I said we talk about Wendy Williams. No, we did that. We talk about Nicki Minaj. No, we did that. No,
Met Gala.
Met Gala and Lil Nas X little album, The Baby. He had the baby child.
Have you heard the album?
I heard some of the songs. My favorite is That's What I Want. That's the one where he doing the football, you know, the football. He's a football player.
That video? Okay. That's great. Because I saw there was one he has with a song, I mean, not a song, but a video with Billy Porter. And where Billy Porter looks like he's kind of like quasi passing the torch, which is a guitar or something
he
like
has
that.
a collaboration on there with Doja Cat.
Oh, great.
And he has one on there with John, they won't come to me now, honey.
But it's a good album.
Yeah, the couple of songs that I've heard, yeah.
Good.
I love it. Oh,
That's
Miley Cyrus, he has a song there with Miley Cyrus. And who else? He has a song there with a couple of people.
I liked his
4 or
outfit
5
at the Met
ones.
Gala too. I like how he did the kind of
Very cool.
reveal.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, that was great. And I will say that still his marketing around this has been so brilliant.
Fantastic.
So brilliant.
Yeah.
But I think it's just he's an artist. He's an artist, and now that he has, like come out of the closet and stuff, it's just like now he can focus on his artistry. And I think he is another Prince. I think he's another Michael Jackson. I think he's another Lady Gaga. I think he puts me in the frame of those people, in the mind of those people, because
some
with
heavy
his Met
hitters.
Gala
I was gonna
outfit,
say, yeah, I don't
I
know if I feel all that, but I think I don't know if I feel all that.
His stage president, although I'm not a big Kanye West fan, when I went to the Kanye West concert, to see that set and to know that Kanye West put all that into that. And it's the same thing for me with Lil Nas X. It's just like his concepts, and it's just like all when he just goes there, he really thinks
there.
out and really the beginning, the middle, the end, the costuming, the lighting, the set, all of that. He puts it all into all of that. And you see it.
But you know what I thought was funny?
But,
And no, it's not the Met Gala, but it's kind of alongside the Lil Nas X thing. When Normani, who I think is amazing, did the performance at the VMAs recently, and Tiana Taylor came out at the end, and they were doing kind of like, there was nothing said. It was like crickets about that performance.
And you know, and I think I didn't see the
Crickets.
VMAs, but I saw that clip, and I almost think just what little bit I know about Tiana Taylor, I don't really know much about the other girl. I think that they kind of almost did that kind of in quiet support of Lil Nas X.
Yes.
To kind of, because what we've all been saying, that when women do it, y'all don't say anything. But when men do it, it's a problem. So it was almost kind of like, oh, so y'all got a problem with, you know, same gender stuff? Watch this. So, and you know, I think that was kind of
was so telling. Nothing.
And I think, like I said, I
nothing.
think that was probably intentional to kind
Nothing
of
about the children. Nothing from Bootsy.
all of that they want to
Nothing.
talk about it.
Nothing.
That was just their take on the Janet Jackson. Because Janet Jackson did it. They said yeah, but when Janet Jackson did it, she did it with a man.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So I'm like, so if people want to make that argument, that they have no weight behind that.
Yeah, like I said, I think that
No
was
way.
a stance. I think that was done intentionally because it very easily could have been a man that it was done.
Of course.
Yeah. So you intentionally. Yeah.
Because now-
I,
and then,
I
like-
thought that was brilliant.
Like I said, the video that I like, the song that I like is That's What I Like. And that's the one where he's a football player, and then him and this football player, they make out in the locker room. And it's just like they have like 2 or 3 different little scenes where they are just making
Going
out.
at it.
Like one of them, they outside in a tent, you know, but it's tasteful and all that. I was like, but baby. So I'm gonna see if they're gonna say something about this video.
Yeah, and to me, even with him, I feel that some of the stuff he's doing kind of over just because he sees that it's been a hot button. So he's like really making it, oh, okay, in your face, which I even appreciate that because it's kind of like, if nothing else, I wouldn't necessarily put him on the same level as some of the artists that you made, but I think he's definitely a change maker right now, and a necessary and needed change maker, and an eye opener to like, let's pay attention to this, and let's really check what we really have a problem with. Oh, and you got a problem with it? Well, watch this. I'm gonna do this too. Just like the little, I saw the post that he did with, if you are not Lil Nas X hater, please dial this number. You may be entitled to compensation. I thought that was brilliant. I thought that was so good.
And also, it's just like when he developed his stuff for his shows, his set, his costumes and ideas and all of that, he does the same thing for, like, he just think it all the way through. Like, y'all sit up here going through about, him kissing this boy, blah, blah, blah. He has so moved on. He addressed it and he moves on. Because then it's just like, he comes out of nowhere with,
Something else.
I'm going to, these are the charities I want you all to support. If you all want to do such, and they talking about this and da, these are some charities I want you all to support. He's like, okay. So then he came out with his album. When his album was released, he was like, okay. He said, I want to give away $500,000 in Bitcoin. He said, name your top 3 songs on the album and put your Cash App on here. So it's just like little stuff like that. Like, you all are going through all this. He's like, child.
Right, and that's great. And like I say, even more to that, like that's why he is so
He's
so
so
important as a
audience,
change maker.
which is
Right,
great.
exactly. And it is one of those things that for the people that are, still have issue with what he's doing, like you said, he came out as being gay. So newsflash, gay men kiss and make out with other men. That's how it works.
And that's another thing that I like. I know that he is not trying. I'm not just kissing these men just because I know y'all don't like it.
Right.
It's just like, I feel the same way about him as I feel about the movie, The Crying Game. When we finally saw The Crying Game, and I was like, finally, somebody that is showing us in a make-believable role. I believe this. And it's the same thing with Lil Nas X. I don't think he's doing it for shock value. I think he's doing it just like, this is the story I'm telling.
Right.
So it's just like when Beyonce, she's doing her, that's the story she's telling. When Ciara do it, that's the story she's telling. So he's the same way. It's just like, that's the story that I'm telling.
Yeah.
But it just so happens that I'm doing male on male.
So let's keep telling these stories.
Mhm.
The Met Gala.
Horrible.
Horrible.
Yes, God. All the ugly clothes.
Really?
Yes, God.
Why did you find them ugly? What was
Because there ain't none of the stuff that is in my closet.
well, the Met Gala is not good thing for that. The Met Gala is not supposed to be
I didn't
things
really
that
understand the theme though.
The
I
theme
will
was
say
a little
that.
confusing
The theme
to
was
me.
off.
And that's why I just want to Google it to
Right,
get
it's
specifically
like-
what it says. Because I was like, every time they
It's
would
like
say
something
it,
about
like, I don't
America,
know.
and I'm like,
Right.
okay, I don't know what this
Right,
is.
'cause I asked somebody what was the theme, this shit, about. Oh, it's American designers. And then I heard somebody else say the thing that said, it's American designers with such and such. I'm like, what?
I didn't get it, but I did say Iman was amazing. I love
She
what
she
had.
stole the show, period.
Iman
amazing.
stole
Iman was
the
amazing.
show.
Period.
She was amazing.
It was all about, to me, it was all about Iman, Lil Nas X,
Mhm.
and Billie Eilish. Because nobody expected Billie Eilish to come through the way she did.
Now, which one was she?
Billie Eilish was the one on the red carpet looking like Marilyn Monroe.
Okay, yeah, I remember her.
And Billie Eilish is always the one that's dressed like a tomboy.
Oh, okay. So that's the catch.
So when
Okay.
she stepped out there in that
Okay.
big old ball gown and that blonde hair and that ruby red lipstick,
Okay.
baby.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna say this.
So okay, so I just want to
The theme.
The theme says this year's gala theme is American Independence, which gave attendees a wide berth of ideas to play with, from founding fathers in powdered wigs and star-spangled gowns to Lady Liberty cosplay, and of course all things red, white, and blue.
Okay,
So
well, I didn't
it-
see
it
anything
is-
red, white, and blue that much.
Well,
Well, I saw
red.
separately. Like,
Right,
I
separate
think
red
Alicia
is
Keys
separate,
had,
yeah.
Gabrielle Union had
Right.
on some, and then there were some people who had on like
Really?
message
Right.
dresses. I
Right.
saw,
Right.
but
AOC.
So, and I can see
Yeah.
where that would, like, American Independence, that could be
So that's
anything.
very broad.
That's right. That's
That was
very
very
broad.
broad.
So, and that kind of showed, and I remember one thing that I read about Iman, it said that it was supposed to symbolize light after experiencing so much darkness, which is what we've all been experiencing in the past year and a half to 2 years. So, and it was beautiful. She
was
looked
amazing.
fantastic.
I did not know until I was just really looking at it that was like a jumpsuit.
Underneath, right.
Yes,
yeah,
I
you
thought
could
it was
really
a
look at
gown.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a pants.
Yeah.
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 It was amazing. She was amazing.
And that headpiece, and Iman has always been one of my
But
favorites.
what was
She
Kim
was a super-
Kardashian's
Oh,
ode
child.
to?
She was a mannequin.
Okay, so she was pretending to be a mannequin.
Yeah, you know how you had a mannequins in the department store?
Yeah, but what does that have to do with the theme?
It's American.
A mannequin?
Mannequins are all over the world, not just America.
Well, I thought she. Well, I will say this: she was memorable.
Because I was asking
It was
the same
creepy,
thing.
though.
Somebody
It felt
told me,
very
they said,
demonic
she was
to me. I was like,
mannequin.
ooh.
She was a mannequin. I said, okay.
And there was an article that I read about that said that it seemed very dark,
just
and it was
felt-
like the last thing that we needed in the dark
Yeah.
times that we've been experiencing.
just
And I
felt
did kind
creepy.
of agree with that because it was a little creepy and dark
Yeah.
seeming.
Yeah.
I had really told Serena Williams up. Because I didn't
I
like
didn't
nothing
see
but
her.
that coat.
Well, let me see what she wore. 'Cause
I
didn't
didn't
see
like nothing
Serena.
but the coat. I didn't like her hair. I didn't like her makeup. I didn't like the jumpsuit, the cat suit. I didn't like. I
You
didn't
know,
like.
I'm sorry.
But then,
It looks like she's done something differently with her face.
Mm.
It looks different to me.
Mm.
but then after I saw a close up of her outfit, I changed my mind
Oh.
because the jumpsuit, the cat suit, it was like lace. It was see through.
Is it this yellow, whatever
Let me
this
see.
is?
No, that's last year.
Oh, okay. Let me see.
No, that's last year.
Okay.
So it was a couple of people that I felt like that. And then I saw their outfits, I saw another picture of their outfit, and then it was like close up, you know how they do like
Oh, this thing?
Yeah. You see that? I don't like nothing but that coat on that picture. But when you zoom in, or they had another picture with her when she was getting ready in the hotel, and to see the cat suit, it's a really nice cat suit. It's really nice. So that's how I was when I first saw it, just like your face. And there was a couple more people that I saw, like Jennifer Hudson. I was like,
Yeah. I like the red. The red was pretty.
The color was pretty. I was kind of indifferent. I didn't love it, but it was like, okay, I guess. It wasn't really, yeah. But now after reading the theme more, I can see where maybe the red, I guess, I don't know. I don't really know what her concept.
But there were a lot of people that looked really, really, really nice.
I thought Tracy Ellis Ross killed it, which she always does to me anyway.
She did. I think she's so
such a
fashion
style.
forward.
Yeah, she's such
Yeah.
a style person to me.
I
that
like
just,
her.
It's very spot on, and it's so specific to her and her her look, and she owns everything that she does to me, regardless of if you like it, like because some things you don't necessarily like, but she owns it, and it's really, I thought it was great. I thought Kylie, not Kylie, who's Kylie Jenner, I thought looked beautiful. Gigi Hadid, I thought was really pretty.
A whole lot of them pretty.
Mary J. Blige, I thought it was a very nice look for her, very different. She had a softness to her.
She was another one I had said. I said Mary J. Blige. I said, like the front of the dress I didn't like, but then the side and the back that was the dress, and then I saw a close up of the front of the dress. And I thought,
you changed your mind.
Mary J. Blige was so beautiful.
Yeah, she
whoever
looked
did
beautiful.
her makeup and her hair.
She looked beautiful. That was, like I said, that was a softness to her that I don't think we've ever really seen. A softness and a sexiness that we've never really seen Mary in that way. To me, I thought she looked beautiful. But like I said, and now looking at the theme again, it did give so many liberties. You could have done one jeans and a t-shirt, really, to me, based on that theme, right? So it's kind of really hard. Given that to really judge
I like Rihanna's too, even though it was a bit
I didn't really
kind of scully, but kind of it was like two outfits in one something or other. I liked it. Megan Thee Stallion, I was just kind of like,
She was just there, honey.
I thought
Lil Nas X.
Grownish.
Back
oh,
to
the Grownish. She looked like an angel.
She looked so
like
beautiful.
Like a Queen
and it was
Mary
an
or
ode
something.
to Josephine Baker.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Oh.
She looked beautiful.
Okay.
But Lil Nas X, he came out with the robe on.
I loved
him.
Then
he broke it down. Like, just like he changed, then he went into, he came from the robe, then he had on this like armor thing. And then he came out and he had on the cat suit. So he said that what it was all about, he said like, at first when he came, presented himself, you don't know, he got this robe on, you don't know if it's a man or a woman.
Mm-hmm.
This outfit is for a man or a woman. So then he said, when he peeled the robe off, he had the armor thing on, and that was to protect him from all the gay bashing and stuff. It's just like, people talking about you and doing this, all the negative stuff that gay people have to, arm themselves, protect themselves from that. He said, so that's what the armor came in. And then he said, and when I put on the cat suit, when I came out on the cat suit, this is me being my authentic self, not caring about what people say and I don't know. I said, oh, see, that's what I be talking about. Lil Nas X is just like, he always have
that was
the thought process.
Yes, the thought process behind what he does. And then I also told George, I said, we need to go to the Met Gala next year. He said, we got them $35,000-$40,000 to get it up. We need to go spend on the red carpet or something because you get an appreciation for the outfits if you see them in person as opposed to some of the pictures don't do them justice. And also, I would like to know the stories behind, what is the story behind you picking this outfit?
Mm-hmm.
Just like you said, that was something, paying tribute to Josephine Baker and all that stuff. So it's just like, some of the outfits that you did, I did, it's ugly and it's tight, but if I hear the story of the concept that,
I didn't really understand J-Lo's, but I thought she looked pretty.
I didn't really understand that.
I didn't understand the hat. If she
J-Lo,
had taken the hat off, it would have been.
But maybe
what J-Lo was
independence,
doing,
maybe it's cowboys.
I get it, but
what J-Lo was doing was trying to make up for the night before, because she had a miss on the red carpet for the Video Music Awards.
She didn't. Well, let me go look and see what she had on.
And the Met Gala really is a celebration of fashion and all of its over the topness, so to speak. So it is kind of meant to be,
whatever you kind of want it to be.
She just raised the money for the Fashion Institute.
Right, but as far as the concept of the clothing, it is supposed to be.
Oh, you didn't like her outfit?
J-Lo,
This right here?
I didn't like that. Like it was too little. She was stretching it.
It was too what?
Too little.
He said Lil.
Too
He
little.
said
Too
Lil.
little.
It's too
I
Lil.
thought she looked
Then
good.
LC had the on with the dress with tax the rich. Everybody was like, girl, how you gonna go in here with all these rich people with this, message on the back of your dress, tax the rich. So there was a young lady who came out and she said that, they stole my phrase and then they used my same font on this dress. So she said, I want y'all to just tag them. So she have a mask, a facial mask, and it has tax the rich on it, and then it's on the face of Abraham Lincoln. And she's put them side by side, and it's just like, oh yeah, that is the same font, and it's the same letter, and the same color and everything, red. So she said, I want you all to tag them in this post. And she said, I don't want you to tag them in it because I'm trying to sue them. I see that they have good taste. So what I want to do is I want all of us to make some money. So I want them to reach out to me so we can come up with some concepts
Collaborate
where
and
we
make-
can make money together.
That's great.
So
That's
I
great.
said, that was good.
And it's funny you say that though, because there are some, believe it or not, some rich people who say that. I remember there was a statement that Chelsea Handler, the comedian, made, and she said that. She said, you know, she was on the talk show one day, and she kind of said that. She said, I make a lot of money, so I could, I deserve to pay more. I can pay more taxes because I make a lot of money, so tax me. You know, which, you know, in some cases is true. You know, it's like these are the people that can afford to make it, and oftentimes they have so many write-offs too that they're not really paying. You know, but that's a whole nother subject. So we'll keep it light. Keep
Oh
it
no,
light,
you
all
went
right.
there. You went there, baby. Go ahead.
Mm-mm. Oh, no, not a lull. Okay.
Tax the rich, honey.
Tax the rich. Yeah, tax the rich and leave us. Tax Donald Trump. Shit.
The barber asked me, because I had took my child to the barber shop, and the barber asked me, they said, do you think Donald Trump gonna win again? And I said, baby, Donald Trump will be dead next year.
If Donald Trump wins again, we'll be dead next year.
Mike Pence talking about Mike Pence talking about he's considering making an announcement that he's gonna run for president. It's like, okay.
Trump 2.0.
But if he says he's running, then Donald Trump, you think they're gonna run against each other?
Ain't no telling what Donald Trump's arrogant, narcissistic behind.
Yeah, he thinks he can do anything.
He does.
He thinks he can do anything.
He does. He does.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna take a break right here because they do talking about the Met Gala, they do talking about Lil Nas X album, so we're gonna come back and what we're gonna talk about, I'm not gonna let them know. I'm just gonna throw it out there on them, honey. I'm your girl, Miss Sophia, hold it down right here. We are your radio. We're your radio with the home of urban sound of pride. This is the weekend edition of the J&JJ Talk Show. JJJ Talk Show. We're a talk show on Saturday. JJJ.
Triple J.
The journalist, the other journalist, and the other journalist. Come on, baby. This song right here is Throw the Bag. What is the bag?
What bag?
What bag?
The money bag?
Throw the bag. You got
I'm
the
here-
bag?
I'm here to catch it.
The bag of chips.
Oh.
I got some chips.
Throw the bag, girl. Throw the bag. Girl,
You know who I don't really understand, and I try to follow her, but sometimes I get confused.
Who?
It's India Moore from Pose.
Who?
India Moore
Which one is
from the
this?
show Pose.
Bianca.
She's the one who played the model.
Let me see.
From Pose, the pretty girl, the one that was
But
the
she's-
model on the
But she's
show.
cut her hair.
Oh,
Really short
okay.
You say you don't get her?
Sometimes I don't understand her.
What do you mean?
She's saying, like some of her stances politically, sometimes I'm like, I need to do more investigation.
The one that got married to her brother.
What?
They got married to her brother on the show. You know, they was house evangelista.
Oh, Lord. Anymore. She has no interest in attending the Met Gala again after this year. She says it was cognitive dissonance as the Black Lives Matter protest took place outside. She's among the LGBTQIA, but made their biggest statement off the carpet. The actor and model best known. This will probably be my last Met Gala. Moore, who is transgender and non-binary, and she uses they them pronouns. But I had to really think about if it is truly in alignment with what I care about, because I think it is possible to be an artist and a creative and simultaneously not invest in make-believe during a time make-believe is weaponized against the truth, during a time where honesty and transparency is more important than ever. Like, what the hell does that mean? What's she
Basically
talking
saying
about?
that she felt that it was kind of just fake and superficial, where now we have bigger causes and bigger things to be dealing with. Where people are just, flaunting opulence, where like now we need to be like we got some shit to really figure out.
Miss Sophia, check the DM. Y'all have dead air when the music goes on the live stream.
Being at the Met this year was con. Well, but then my thing is,
I like
Why did she go?
Sophia stopped.
This might have
Prince,
been her first
Michael,
time. That's
and
what she
Madonna
said. I
have
guess that she
talent.
might not go
Nas X
anymore.
has zero
This might have
talent. He
been her
doesn't
first
write,
time.
produce, play instruments, or sing live.
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes she just
J
feels like
Farm
she's too deep
by.
for me, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay,
Some people have gotten like
I
that.
can't, I
too,
can't.
We
And
have
then like she
big-
cut all her
She
hair off.
was
She looks a
She
little
was
strange.
talented like Avery Wilson, example. He wouldn't have to do this. J Farm by.
Who?
J Farm D.
What they say?
My Lil Nas X is definitely doing this for the attention. If he was talented like Avery Wilson, example, he wouldn't have to do this.
Avery Wilson.
J Farm
The singer?
Uh-huh.
The woman? Is that
Avery is the guy. You talking about Avery Sunshine?
Who is Avery? Child, shut up,
Okay.
person.
My sister said J Farm bye.
And so
Y'all
what
get Lil Nas X a pass for everything. Nope, though. Y'all just be riding him for no reason.
let's talk about that. Let's talk about that when we get back. Let's
What
talk
did he
about
do
that.
to deserve it? Come on now.
What did he do to deserve what?
And then the great day say he was born, huh?
Are these gay people talking about this too?
You know what I don't understand, and I think it was one day I want to have a conversation about the some of the not hypocrisy, but it's the some of the what's the word am I looking for?
Did I wipe my hands with Clorox wipes?
Oh, sorry. Well, that's all I got.
All right,
Sorry.
well I can't. Shit, I just they gonna be clean, honey.
You know how there's like disparities within the LGBTQIA community,
We can talk about that now.
where there are some people who are, you know, same gender loving, but will say bad things about, say, transgender people because they don't understand their.
We got some more water in here. I have a concept. I have some, but I don't. Are we gonna talk about this on the air? Cause I got a lot to say about this.
I don't.
You want some more water?
I got plenty. Or like some gay people who have spoken badly about Lil Nas X
There ain't no water in here.
and his you know, performances or
You
whatever.
want sorry?
I don't get it.
That's because we're gonna talk about it, and that's gonna be the last break.
Now, I will say the performances I've seen of his, I don't think that they're anything extraordinary. I
Oh.
think that Lil Nas X, I think that they're average. To below average.
Oh wow.
The
As an
production,
artist, I'm offended.
the production quality is still, well, art is subjective. All art is subjective. Some people like it, some people don't. So as an artist, you should get used to, you know.
Very Michael Jackson, Prince, Madonna, and Lady Gaga.
Yeah, I don't put him in that category.
Oh,
Sorry,
oh
I don't.
wow.
He's not as effortless with his talents, with his moves, with his anything. He's not.
I mean,
very-
he doesn't even play an instrument like Prince does.
Oh
Or,
wow.
does he write songs?
Oh wow. Lil Nas X, come do the show next Saturday.
But I mean, I like him. But I don't think, oh my God,
Right.
I wouldn't put him with no Prince.
That's what J Form say. Name his proven talent. You compare him to Michael Jackson, Prince, and Madonna. He is not talented. He doesn't write, produce, dance, or sing live. Oh boy, bye. He is so talented. Oh wow, as an artist, I'm offended that you even say that.
I can't.
So I don't like all that jealousy. Let me go. We're gonna come up in 30 years. Let me come up right here, honey. Child, she won't let go.
Oh my God.
20 seconds. First, let me get this J Farm D together. All this Lil Nas X hate-teration. 10 seconds. Welcome back to Club Chit Chat with your DJ Miss Sophia right here. We are your radio. We're your radio. We are the home of the urban sound of pride, baby. Hey, It is the JJJ show today, honey. This is the JJJ talk show on Saturdays, honey. Jason, Joe, and JaQuitta, baby. Hey. And we were just talking about Lil Nas X the last break, and I said Lil Nas X, he has put me in the mind of the Prince, the Michael Jackson, the Madonna, the Lady Gaga, and a lot of people say, girl, please. Including one in the studio. Well, these two in the studio, honey. Then Jay Farm on YouTube talking about name his proven talent. You compare him to Michael Jackson, Prince, and Madonna. He is not talented. He doesn't write, produce, dance, or sing live. Boy, bye. I am offended as an artist. But what you all saying?
I think he's. I wouldn't put him in the same caliber of a Prince or Michael. Oh, definitely not Michael Jackson because he doesn't. I don't think he has that kind of talent.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he's good. I think he's. He's somebody you should be paying attention to. That's what I'll say.
Yes. And what were you saying?
And clearly we are paying attention to him because we talk about him every time we get on the air.
We do.
So we are paying attention. So, job well done for that. I don't think that he's, of that caliber as well. I don't even think that his performance is, I would say it's average.
Yeah, and I don't think he's
average.
A great dancer.
Yeah,
either,
he's
right?
not
But
a
I
great
think
dancer.
he's okay.
He's okay. More importantly for me, like I said, it's for me more what he represents, and that him and his team have been able to capitalize on the negative publicity in a way that almost says F you to the haters, so to speak, which is something that I'm not a person that likes to really give quote unquote haters a lot of publicity anyway. So, and he does it in a way that kind of speaks to what I like. He does what he wants to do and kind of almost throws things up in their face that they don't like. And I do appreciate that. I appreciate his and his team's ability to do that. Because he is a newer artist too, I think it's still yet to be seen what he is really capable of.
Yeah.
Because he's still fairly new.
Yeah. Like he can't be called in the category as a Prince or Michael Jackson. He hasn't even established whether or not he has the longevity.
Right.
Or the decades to
Right.
be relevant and still, produce good music beyond what he's doing right now. But I would love to hope that he would be that. But what I do have a question about though.
But before you go on, I just want to say he is Prince, Michael Jackson, Madonna, Janet Jackson, Lady Gaga, Fred Astaire, Ginger Rogers. But go ahead.
So sis,
You think so?
So real quick though, I just have a real quick interjection. Sis, just let me know. Are you dating Lil Nas X? Is this something you want to share with us? Because you are really, really, really. Now, and if you are cool, I'm happy for you because I want all my
the reason
friends
why
and
he's
family to be.
pregnant?
I'm not dating Lil Nas X. I'm dating Nas.
The rapper? Okay.
We're gonna go to break.
The messages expressed on this radio station.
Right.
And views on this station are
And
all
not
the
necessarily
jazz.
mine.
Yeah, not,
That was Joe. Not about to say your whole government name.
What I do find curious though, when people who are within the LGBTQIA community
Like Jay Farm.
have said bad things about Lil Nas X or within the community, why does that happen?
It's the same thing in the heterosexual community. This is like people talk about the heterosexual community. Y'all don't all get along. It's the same thing.
So.
Yeah, but let's just say if Lil Nas X is kissing someone on air, and then there'll be somebody who is in the LGBTQIA community who are like, no, I don't think they should be kissing on air.
So to that, I'll speak. I have a different. I think some of that because as gay men, we are taught that our lifestyle is wrong. So when we see it's difficult for some of us even to really be able to really live our lives freely and openly because we still struggle with our teachings. And so for some of us that see somebody like Lil Nas X on television openly kissing and expressing his love for another man, that's very difficult. And when you're dealing with a person that is suffering from self-hate, it's even more difficult for them to see that in somebody else because that brings up with them what they struggle with, probably, my theory. And it's very unfortunate that we do that to each other. We should be celebrating this freedom that he has because it essentially becomes a freedom for all of us, gay or straight, when you can really be who you are, I believe that is every human's mission and strife in life, to be able to be your authentic self at all times in every situation.
I have a friend.
Well, I think that's part of it. I also think a part of it is jealousy.
Oh.
I think part of it is because he's successful, and a lot of people have. Some of it is some people in the gay community. I've learned that a lot of people in the gay community, we all want to be successful, but some people hate on you because your success came before theirs. So it's a whole lot of that going on.
Yeah, it's the quintessential crabs in a bucket mentality in a lot of cases, which is unfortunate. You know, we should really be able to celebrate each other and each other's success, because your success can and will lead to my success.
Yeah.
Maybe not directly, but more indirectly. You understand? And we don't really get that, and it's unfortunate. You know, like I said, I have respect for what he's been able to do in this short period of time. Like I said, people are talking about him all over everywhere.
Right.
You know.
So this is what, because Jay Farmer's really into this, and he really just don't have no love for Lil Nas X. So he said, what does being gay have to do with it? I'm talking about him being gay. I'm not talking about him being gay. I'm speaking of his lack of talent. Jay Farmer, who is your favorite musical entertainer?
And or Jay Farm, what is your talent? Give us some examples of
I
your
just want to
talent.
say, who is somebody that you look at as, you know,
As talented. You redeem as talented.
Yeah.
Can I have I have one more question, and then I promise. So I have another friend who's a gay man, same gender loving, and he has and does not feel comfortable around transgender women. He's more accepting of a transgender man, but he feels a little bit uncomfortable around transgender women.
Why is it?
I don't know.
Did you ask him?
I did ask.
And what did he say?
He didn't give me he didn't know. He just felt more comfortable being around a transgender woman than a man, and I was like, wow, why?
I would think
It's like I don't understand them.
there's probably a little discomfort in misunderstanding of himself. If you know who you are, you ain't really uncomfortable around anybody.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't gonna move you.
But then for
I'm
you to
not
just say
uncomfortable.
that you're uncomfortable around somebody, but you can't give a why,
Yeah.
it's just like,
And like I said, that's why I said there's probably some discomfort within himself about himself.
Okay.
You know, because I'm not uncomfortable around anybody. Gay, straight, transgender, not transgender, black, white, tall, short, fat, skinny.
and I think
I'm aware of who I am.
I think he knows the reason why, but I think in his mind he probably feels that his why is offensive.
Well, he
so
said
he won't let it out.
Well, yeah, you're right. Because I remember one time he said, "I just feel like they're so flamboyant and they're just so extra."
Well, that's what
And
they
that
say
could
about
be,
gay
but that's
men.
their
But that's
right.
what they say about gay men.
Right.
What about the gay men that are flamboyant and look at? You know, I would love to sit down and talk to him and have this conversation, because you could say that about a transsexual, a trans woman, but you have the Miss Lawrence, and you have the Big Sexy Original walking around here with these persons doing all these videos, and then you have Can You Walk, Saucy Santana.
He talked about Santana. He was like, I don't know why is it that he has the beard, but he's walking in the heels and the hair. And I was like, well,
So I think this is something that we have to come to. Just because it's not for you or how you want to present doesn't necessarily mean that there's something wrong with it.
Right.
You know, we are all able and have the right to look and do and wear what we want to wear.
Right.
You know, and if you're not into a beard and makeup and heels, then don't have a beard and wear makeup and heels.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But don't really knock somebody, and don't get me wrong, I don't negate, or I do realize that sometimes at first it is a little, ooh, what is this? Because even I had that at the beginning. Like we even talked about this toward the beginning of men really doing this, because there was a time that this wasn't really prevalent like it is today in the gay community. So even for me, it was like, well, why they do that? But then I had to come to child, because that's what they want to do. So at the end of the day, if that's what they want to do, it ain't hurting me, it ain't hurting them, it ain't hurting nobody else. Go ahead and do it.
Right.
You know, again, we as humans, we take on so much stuff that it ain't got nothing to do with us.
Right. And
It
I
ain't
just
nothing to
found
do with
myself trying to champion for Saucy Santana.
Right.
And I'm like, well, wait a minute. Why am I
Right.
trying to explain this to you, and you are in the community? Like, why? And why are you saying this about?
And
This
not
person.
only that, you're in the community and you have access to these people.
So you
and
can
if you
ask
have issues with them, why come to you? Just like he asking you, he can sit down and ask a trans woman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he made it seem like he wouldn't even want to sit down with one.
But
Because he knows he
Because-
don't have a leg to stand on.
But what
It's-
that would make me think deep down inside, you probably have some of that in you.
You wanna be
probably want to be a
trans.
trans.
And they gonna recognize it and put you in some heels and makeup and a wig and
And it's kind of like when what you call it was in here, friend, what's his name, Robbie's brother. Like when he was in here and he was talking about how he said
Zoe.
Zoe was sitting here. He talked about how he really wanted to be a trans woman. He think he's a trans woman. He wants to be a trans woman. And then he was just going on and on about it. And then it was just like we were off the air and stuff. And I said, Joe, I think you really want to be a trans woman. I think you really want to go through the whole, and he wanted to go through the whole transition, have the sex change and all of that. But the reason he don't want to do it, I think, is because he comes from a minister background. His mom and his dad, they're both ministers. And so he grew up under the umbrella that, this is wrong. What you're doing is wrong. And then for you to go and change your whole lifestyle and change, what you were born as. And also, he feels like the new reason why he said he won't do it now is because he feels like he waited too long, because a lot of his male features, that even if he do the hormones and he do all this and that,
They're too
it's still
strong.
gonna be, he gonna have some strong male features. That's why he won't do it. And I'm like,
Well, and it's interesting that he really wanted to go through the whole change process, because I talked to another friend of mine recently about the change, and he was saying how a lot of transgender women won't do the change down below because they don't have the opportunity to enjoy sexual relations if you've taken that part away. And I was like, well, can't you, I don't really know a whole lot about it medically, but I was like, can't you kind of build a vagina and, like
build
a
a vagina.
bear?
I love that.
And he was like, even if you do, you're just not able to get the satisfaction or the happy ending that you desire, which is why a lot of trans people don't
they
do
have
that.
many different reasons why
And
they
I
don't
was
do it. A lot of different reasons.
Yeah.
Some of them see the process that it takes to go through it, and they
Mhm.
won't. Then some of them don't want to go and sit down because you gotta have, gotta go see a psychiatrist before you get
Right.
it done and all that. Some of the people don't have the money to do it,
Right.
and then it's just a whole lot of different reasons why people
So it
don't
must
do
be
it.
more economically easy to have the breast implants, but not.
Yeah, because originally, a lot of them were getting that done like underground. They weren't going to see no doctor.
to get
and so-
breast implants. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
to do to do the hormones.
Okay.
They're doing stuff. So now it's just like
All
a
of it.
lot of the people are finding out the complications that causes. So a lot of people having this scrape down in their bodies, but the doctors let them know we can take the majority of it out, but we can't take all of it out. Some
Right.
of it is just permanently. You just got to
Right
deal with
there.
it.
And that's for the illegal stuff. Now, for the people going to get the real doctor of cosmetic surgery, that's something different. But the illegal underground stuff is different. But
Toxic masculinity exists in all communities. And then Jay Forbes said Michael Jackson is the greatest performer. I think R. Kelly has musical mind, just to name a few.
You put R.
and to
Kelly
some-
in there?
Yeah, he
Okay.
put R. Kelly in there.
Okay.
And to some people, Lil Nas X is what Michael Jackson and R. Kelly is to you. And just because he's not your favorite artist, don't mean that he's not somebody else's favorite artist, which is my point to you.
Well, all right then. Well, all right then.
Yeah.
What?
I still just think that he doesn't have the longevity yet to be a Michael Jackson. That's
Well, we
just my
gotta wait
personal
and
opinion.
see.
Yeah, but yeah,
We
I
gotta
think we
wait
have
and
to wait to see. And he's for what it's worth, he's good. He's entertaining. I mean,
But I just want to say this: a lot of people, the majority of the people, about 98% of the people.
where are we getting these statistics and these facts?
But
Hey.
no, girl.
Okay, what?
You gotta Google this.
What's the
98% of the people.
98%.
98% of the people said that he was a one-hit wonder with Old Town Road.
well, that I think I would agree with. A lot of people didn't.
And then there's a video that I just watched last night where Lil Nas X was talking about, it's just like, and I saved it for my Instagram. I saved it. He was just talking about, him growing up and everything, him growing up and the stuff that he went through. And he even talked about, in this video, he was talking about how he went he was growing up and he's gay and all of that stuff, and then he had to deal with that, and then there was a point where he wanted to commit suicide. Then he was trying to get, signed with a record label. Then a record label was trying to sign him for dirt cheap, and he said no. And then he did Old Town Road. Old Town Road was all right and blase, blase. And then, it got a little traction and everything, but it still wasn't Old Town Road. And then the record labels, with the record labels again, they was like, well, no, da. So then he hooked up with Billy Ray Cyrus. And when he hooked up with Billy Ray Cyrus, it just went on. And so now he said went back to the record label and everything. Then he got this big deal with the record label and all of that. So it's just like everything they went through. Everybody was talking about he was gonna be a one-hit wonder, and then it's just like now he is Lil Nas X, and he used to release LPs and stuff, singles and LPs and stuff. And so now he just released his first album and stuff. We just have to wait and see, like y'all said. We just have to wait and see. But I think he's gonna be around for a while because I do think he's a very talented young man, and I think that his support is only gonna grow and grow and grow. Because just like the J Farms and people that are looking at him saying, he's just using these gimmicks and he's just not talented, he can't do this and he can't do that and do that. The more he's in the game, the more he's going to prove to people. Because
I definitely
that's the
believe
reason,
he has something to say.
And that's the reason that, that motivated him to keep going in the beginning. Because so many people were pulling against him saying that he wasn't going to be.
Right. So I have gotten so many thoughts in my head in the last 5 minutes of these conversations where I'm trying to. So to the whole gimmick thing and no talent, I will say this, in my opinion, there is talent even to being able to capitalize and use gimmicks to become famous and popular, i.e. the name Kardashian, which is known all over the world. People dog them for many years, even at some point, even I'm sure myself, for not having talent, which, quite the contrary, that is a very talented family. Now, maybe not in the traditional sense of what we think talent is, as singing, dancing, whatever. But they have taken a moment, they have taken their name, and they have built a $1 billion empire. Similar situation here, of course, not to that status yet, but Lil Nas X has taken a situation. He has taken the song, he has taken his sexuality, and has caused so much of an uproar in the entertainment industry right now that, like I said earlier, everyone is talking or has something to say about Lil Nas X, good or bad. So there is talent in that. If there was not, all of us would have done it. We would have all had some gimmick and all been rich.
And hold audiences.
And especially the ones of us that are quote unquote talented.
But we got to get out of here because I know we got another show coming up. At 7.
Oh,
6 o'clock. 6 o'clock. What's called? DJ Baker comes on Saturday. I forgot.
All right, DJ Baker.
But I want to thank y'all. I had a wonderful time and everything. I hope y'all enjoyed yourselves, and hopefully we'll be back next Saturday. Hopefully George will be in here with us, honey, so we can get some more things going on in here. But yeah, everything you just said about Lil Nas X, all of that stuff. So true. Yes, so true, honey. So true. And it was something else, somebody else I had thought about. Oh, I just want to, when you was talking about that, I said, they did the same thing to my sister. And look at her now. T.S. Madison. Same hateration. But y'all ain't stopping nothing. Bye.
Bye.
Y'all are so awesome. This is
in
Who?
Oh, he got to come in here? Or he just come out?
Thanks for watching. How do I hear turn it up there?
Yeah, my sister, no, I couldn't hit that X.